ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni wá, bàbá ẹ dáríjì wá o. Ẹ má wo tẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ́ wa lára. Bàbá, bàbá, bàbá. Mo wólẹ̀, mo wólẹ̀, mo wólẹ̀ fàdúrà. Lift up this nation, now with cheap time when you go away. Then no go put the leadership before your hand. Now you go take calm yourself. No be by force, not by sense. Now you go making Nigeria better. A nation with vision must plan for future. Youth, not the future. Youth of this nation, tie your shokoto well, well. Go to the die, I go no. Party we go shop, baby, yeah, she must hot. We have a mission, to build this nation
of God. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. How do you comfort those who mourn? What does this mean? Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who thirst and hunger for righteousness, for they will be filled. Why am I sounding this way this morning? Blessed are the merciful, for they shall be shown mercy. And I'm wondering why the land is the way it is. I'm not looking at the religious views of the words. I'm only looking at the meanings of the words in the sense of how they construct societies if implemented. Blessed are the merciful. If you show mercy to your neighbor, to the man on the street, it simply means you are showing love. If you show love, you get love. So when there is so much hate in the land, it tells me that the people are not showing enough love. It's not just about policies. It's not just about Buhari or Sheyi Makinde. There are certain rules of nature that give society balance and progress. Integrity, love, righteousness. To be righteous is not just to worship. To be righteous is to do well, to obey the law, to keep the law is to be righteous. You feel because you are a Muslim, that because you worship Allah, that confirms righteousness on you, just like that? Because you worship God through the name Jesus, that confirms righteousness on you, just like that? If you worship as a Muslim, if you worship as a Christian, if you worship as an idol worshiper, and you don't obey the laws of the land, you are not righteous. If you are an elder in church or an imam, and you steal government fund and go and pray, you are not righteous. Such a land will be chaotic, and the people will be poor. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Those who do good, if leaders have pure in heart, their states will be progressive. There will not be war in Borno. There will not be bandits in Kaduna. I hope you know. The banditry and the insurgencies you see in the land is a reflection of the character of the leadership of the land. So the leaders cannot see God. To see God is to see progress. There will be food in the land. There will be water. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the sons of God. To be called the sons of God is for you to see light. When IBEDC cannot distribute electricity, when the Gencos cannot supply, when they cannot generate electricity, then the land will be in darkness. And when the land is in darkness, there will not be peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. When there is peace in the land, you will not hear the fight. Oh, he's a Fulani. Let's kick him out. He's Igbo. Let's shoot him. He's Yoruba. Let's throw him into the bin. When there is peace in the land, those things will not matter. All right. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. The Radio Man is here. I'm Edmund Obilo. Good to speak to you again. Nikita Khrushchev succeeded Joseph Stalin upon his death in 1953. Joseph Stalin was the leader of the Soviet Union. He led the Soviet Union into the Second World War. And when you talk about the Second World War, you remember the name Adolf Hitler of Germany. Remember, Vladimir Putin invades Ukraine. In 1939, Adolf Hitler invaded Poland, and that was the beginning of Second World War. Why Hitler invaded Poland from one end, his collaborator Joseph Stalin invaded Poland from the other end. And they partitioned Poland. How then did Adolf Hitler fall out with Joseph Stalin that more than 20 million Russians were killed in the war? Many of them from what you know today as Ukraine. Now, there was a Cold War after the World War. The Soviet Union blinked during the Cold War and the Soviet Union collapsed. What is this guy driving at? We are witnessing the emergence of a new era in world politics. Are you watching keenly? What is in it for Africa? From next week, follow my pages on Twitter at Obilo. On Facebook, I'm going to start a presentation, my analysis into a new era in world politics. Yes, I'll tell you more as we go. You know, I'm thinking about Tinubu. I'm wondering, Tinubu, have you seen the cartoon by Mike Asokwo? If you go on my page, you'll find that cartoon. What is Tinubu up to? What does he want? Tinubu wants to be president. Okay. But look at this. Why Nigeria may not have totally collapsed, it is in the process of collapsing, as reckless elite in control of the governance process are blindly running the country aground. That's the view of former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atahiru Jiga. Speaking on Tuesday, 2nd March 2022, in Abuja, at the 2022 Workers' Political Conference organized by the Nigeria Labour Congress, Jiga called for a serious and positive rescue mission involving Nigerian workers in alliance with other progressive and patriotic Nigerians. He asked progressive forces to rise to the challenge and save Nigeria from imminent collapse. Jiga is confident that a turnaround on the part of good democratic governance will lead to socio-economic development and human security for Nigerian citizens. Fellow countrymen and women, no food, no water, no petrol, no employment, no electricity, universities down, and poverty defeats the people as bandits, unknown gunmen, and ritualists go on rampage. What does this mean? This dire situation reminds one of Robert Rodberg and John Campbell's article entitled, "Nigeria is a Failed State." That article was published on the 27th of May, 2021 by the Foreign Policy magazine. In the article, they argue that Nigeria has long teetered on the precipice of failure. They conclude that Nigeria's lack of capacity to keep its citizens safe and secure confirms it as a fully failed state of critical geopolitical concern. Yes, while they are entitled to their views, the unending hardship Nigerians have endured from the era of the military to this democratic period that is being undermined by a political leadership incapable of lifting millions of the people out of poverty, violence, and squalor is of serious concern. Why did I say that? Listen to this insert by Nasir El-Rufai. Nasir El-Rufai is the governor of Kaduna State. He talks about simultaneous bombing to wipe out bandits.
What we've always said is the way to end this banditry is simultaneous military and ground operations. If we have the Air Force bombing the camps, we know where the camps are. We have the maps. We know everything. We have their phone numbers. We listen to their conversations sometimes. So, but it has to be done across the 5 states and Niger State at the same time. What we've been doing over the years is you go to Zamfara, you chase them out, they move to Sokoto. You go to Sokoto, you chase them out, they move to Kebbi. From Kebbi, they move to Katsina, Kaduna. And they move seamlessly because of the forest ranges. So what needs to be done is, at the same time, bomb the forests, bomb the camps, and have ground troops on the ground as a blocking force, consisting of the army, the police, the Air Force Special Forces, Navy Special Forces on the ground, and just wipe them out once and for all. Of course, that has risks because some of the camps may also contain innocent people that have been kidnapped. But this is war. In war, you always have collateral damage, unfortunately.
Did you hear, Erufai? This is war. Did that sink? Yes. The situation tells the story of a leadership ill-prepared for the battle of redemption. By this reluctance to attain our citizenship, advancing the cause of progress, the leader fails to engender the trust of the people. In this case, chaos becomes the nature of the state because the leader, whether at the local government, state, or federal level, cannot respond with resourcefulness. Such a leader cannot be authentic. That leader will not command the loyalty of the generality of the people. And that is seen in the violent uprisings that confront the Nigerian state.
Southern Kaduna General Area, where we have a bit of banditry, but greater risks of ethnic and religious clashes, we have these operations to Operation Safe Haven, headquartered in Jos. We have a mobile police squadron in Kafanchan. We bought housing estate, 150 million, and gave it to the police so that they can have a mobile police squadron in Kafanchan after the 2016 crisis that affected Kafanchan and 2 other local governments. Since then, Kafanchan has been quiet, since we had a mobile police squadron. We have Nigerian Navy troops in Kachia, in Kujama, in Makali, and we have all this, and troops at Kasua Magani, and special forces, and so on. So as far as Southern Kaduna is concerned, it has been really quiet, other than Zangon Katab local government, where the Katabs and the Fulanis are now at war with each other.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
At war with each other. Did you see the pictures that came out of Anambra State during the week? When some young boys went to a funeral, opened fire on the mourners, and more than 20 bodies lied dead there or laid dead. You saw that picture? It's not about Anambra. It's not about Fulani. It's about the character of the leadership of the Nigerian state, reflecting in different ways. A chaotic leader cannot bring order. And it's not about Erufai. Meaning that a chaotic society is a representation of the character of its leadership. This is where the value of Jigas coal is situated. To end the disorderliness, the violence and squalor, authentic leadership in all spheres of our lives is urgently needed. I mean a leadership that takes the bigger view. Does Tinubu fit that picture? What about Atiku? You know what Atiku reminds me of? If I tell you, Atiku, Tinubu, what a land. I learned Obasanjo is 85. Okay, J.K. Olashupon, political scientist.
Good morning, Edmund. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, everywhere in the world.
Tinubu wants to be president.
He's aspiring.
That's his right.
Yeah, he has the right.
Will Tinubu be president?
That is a very tough one to say and to just assert that he will be president of this nation. Based on just you have captured the whole thing. The process of leadership ought to be rearranged in terms of what we are calling now. We are calling for restructuring. If we don't go along all these lines, we are just trying. We are trying on our own. But in as much as the process of the process that throw up leadership remains the kind of that enthrone from certain God powers, you don't have it right. Either Tinubu becoming the president of this nation, it's not as if he doesn't have the character. He has it, but we are looking at his earth presently. We are looking at his earth. Some people are arguing that people are being malicious about him or this or that. It's not about that. We need to think about the state. We have to show the character that we produce the best of our leadership. If you fail at the level of leadership, everything fails. And that is why we are witnessing the kind of failures at every sphere.
Tinubu warns, I'm out to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No intimidation, no blackmail will make me say no more. I have read somewhere in a Greek philosopher's book who says if you want to wrestle with a pig, be ready to get dirty. I'm ready to get dirty. When Tinubu is ready to get dirty, what will Maruf Ashudemade say? Maruf Ashudemade first.
Edmund, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be back here.
Your guy is ready to get dirty.
Yes. I know there have been a lot of misconceptions about what he actually said. Some people mischievously said he referred to fight dirty, and what he actually said was what you quoted, that you just had. And you know, in political sense, we know that if you want to be even a councillor, you must be ready to get dirty, because what they say is that if you want to know how your mother was born, so get yourself to politics. That's when people begin to unearth what is true and what is not true about you. And I think Tinubu, having paid his dues since early 90s, he joined politics. You understand what's at stake by his aspiration to become the presidency and the president of Nigeria. So that's what it means, that he's not going to succumb to any blackmail or to any character assassination. He's all out to fight for what he thinks has been his dream since he joined politics.
And he has the right to dream.
He has the right to dream.
And to dream big.
To dream big.
And he's dreaming big.
I mean, I give it to him. Why? Because in spite of everything that he was able to do to ensure that we have a democracy that we are enjoying now, he doesn't have this entitlement mentality that presidency is his birthright. You can see.
He doesn't have that?
Yes.
No.
It's all over the place.
He said he wants to be president now.
If he wants to be president,
No.
that does not mean he sees presidency as his birthright.
He sees it.
That's why he's going out consulting. Why is he consulting?
No. Let's go to Tinubu with the laughing. He told the young men, relax, chill. It's my time now. After me, you come. So.
Yes, he said so. And I list to it. That does not mean he's claiming presidency as his birthright. But he's saying that at least he has paid his due. Let this be my time.
So it's his time.
Yeah, let him do it.
You know, JK, you saw this cartoon, right? By Asoko. I know as you the mother saw it.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
And the Tinubu guys did not take it lightly. They came at me. Even one of them said, I'm not going to listen to Edmund Obilo anymore because I shared this cartoon.
Yeah, you shared, yeah.
What is wrong with this cartoon? Ashudemade, you also commented.
I commented, yeah.
You see, but cartoonists can be mischievous, can't they?
Yeah, that's what I actually read to this cartoon. And that is what my comment under it suggested.
What is mischievous about this cartoon?
Is Tinubu, I mean, is he dragging presidency with Buhari? The first person he went to see is Buhari, that I'd like to be the president. And that's the hallmark of a person who is serious about what he wants to do. He believes in consultation and is going all out to achieve that.
You know, one thing I discovered that annoyed the Tinubuites or the Tinubites is that the cartoonist placed a bottle on Tinubu's hand. He's ready to slam it on Buhari's head. And that is to fight dirty.
That is the issue. And did Tinubu say he was going to fight dirty?
Did he not say that?
He said he was going to get dirty.
Let me just say,
all right.
I'm seeing it for the first time.
All right.
But I will say kudos to this cartoonist. This thing shows the character of his consultation. What his pronunciations, his assertions, as if it's by birth, you gain it by birth. It's not like that. This one is the president and Mr. President has asked him to go ahead or this or that. But there was a time Mr. President told us that he has somebody in mind, that if he reveals such a person now, Nigerians will kill him. I think you heard that. So, what do you mean by that?
What does Buhari mean by that?
Does it mean, does it mean it's not Tinubu he was referring to? Does it mean yes?
I don't know.
I don't even know too.
You should know.
It could have been referring to
You
Tinubu.
are in the Tinubu camp.
Yes.
You are one of the greatest defenders of Tinubu.
He could have been referring to Tinubu. He could have referred to anybody else. But to suggest that it was probably
why would Nigerians want to kick Tinubu? If Mr. President says that would be his turn, why would
Nigeria manipulate pictures to paint Tinubu in a bad light? Why would they manipulate pictures? Then see now, we saw the picture that went viral of the stained garment.
Okay.
Why do people go to that extent? And let me disagree with you on what you said. That Tinubu, the way Tinubu was going about, that this cartoon actually
represent this, yeah.
I disagree with you. If I'm a student, I have a dream to become a medical doctor. I will do everything to ensure that I pass my O-level and UTM exams. So if I become aggressive in the course of doing that, do you blame me? Because I want to achieve my dream. So do you expect me to pay lip service to what I say? And do we even need that kind of a president that to say this is what I want to achieve? If it's not serious about wanting to be the president now, I wish he was going to be serious about wanting to turn potentials he has seen in Nigeria to greatness, as he has said.
JK.
Yes, sir.
He has said he disagrees with you.
He's free to disagree.
Let's look at the cartoon again.
Yes, I can see it better now.
I said, in this fight, will the dog and the baboon be soaked in blood? Because it seems Tinubu is dragging the steering with Buhari, and Buhari is not ready to leave the steering. I then ask, by the way, who is sitting beside the driver? Can you see that guy there watching them? Who is that guy?
That is Osinbajo.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
The cartoonist did not mention anybody.
I know.
He doesn't have to mention
it's Victoria something. That is Osinbajo. Do you know what? Why we have this kind of a thing in our country? I've said it. The first thing I said was, it's about our process. if we have a very direct process that throws up leadership, we don't need to go the way of gangsterism. You understand?
Who is going the way of gangsterism?
The manner
he hasn't slapped anybody.
No. Do you need to slap anybody? You slap many people by your words. If we have a very trustworthy system, you take the people as your priority, not as if you go and see anybody. You talk to the people. Let me just land. You talk to the people with utmost respect. If you aspire to become that, you talk to the people who will give you that post. Not as if I will be this, I will be that by all means. Or no. It's not like that. And looking at all these things, we have to. I don't know.
Maruf, yeah. I'm on your page now.
Okay.
You said, I thought VP Oshibajo was a decent man. So the Tinubites now are out for Oshibajo.
Sure.
You said those supporting his presidential misadventure, you've already called it misadventure, have embarked on all sorts of campaign of calumny against Asiwaju, to whom VP Oshibajo was a political protege. Yet VP Oshibajo is yet to make public statements denouncing or cautioning these candidates of ridicules, demarketing him in the name of selling him.
Yes, sir.
Tell me more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
By the way, this is the picture that annoyed you.
Yes, it annoyed
Why
me.
are they doing this to Tinubu?
That is what I'm saying. You called him, you asked, was he an endangered species? This is a proof that he appears to be.
Look at what the person said and you replied. It says 69-year-old Tinubu has just declared that he is youth. Are we really going to put up with this? And the picture of Tinubu, a small boy Tinubu, was flashed.
Look at it. And JK will not see this as an aggression against Tinubu. But he will only refer to what Tinubu has been doing in terms of consultation as being aggressive to Nigerians.
But why take on Oshibajo? Did Oshibajo make this picture?
I expect him to have cautioned. These things have been on for a long time, for some time now.
Now tell me, because you are in the Tinubu camp, what are you hearing? Oshibajo wants to be president?
He hasn't come out to say he wants to be president.
No, it doesn't have to come out. You are an analyst. You are a member of APC.
Yes. Because
we can see a fight now between the Tinubu camp and the Oshibajo camp.
Yes.
Does Oshibajo want to be president?
He wants to be president. Because if he doesn't want to be president, somebody as closer to him,
Tinubu?
Not even Tinubu. What's the name of this senator?
The one from Ekiti State?
From Ekiti State.
Yeah.
Ojudu. It's been going out. And don't forget, he's the political advisor to the VP.
So to the president, in the office of the vice president.
So if he's going out, telling people to support Oshibajo, that means there's something Oshibajo has told him about wanting to become the president.
So there's a divided house in the APC.
There is.
Already.
Especially even in Yoruba land now.
Already.
I agree. There is.
There's an Aregbesola firing somewhere. Tinubu must be in trouble by now.
That is another topic.
He's not in trouble. He's not in trouble. What happened between him and Aregbesola wasn't the first time it will happen between Tinubu and his allies. We shouldn't forget that it happened between him and Pedro. Pedro had to leave. Pedro was his.
Pedro is a small fry.
Small fry.
It's like Aregbesola is the number 2 in the Tinubu camp.
And why was he decimated that Alimosho?
Have you decimated him yet?
Have they not decimated him?
You just started the fight.
Listen, sir. If his candidate won the primary in Osun,
he was not going to win. Nobody was expecting his candidate to defeat a sitting governor.
No, he didn't expect that he won't win.
He knew.
He didn't expect that he won't win, because if he knew he won't win, he won't come public and make that.
No, you don't. You don't defeat a governor.
He has just started a fight at that level. Not as if he wanted to win that something for his candidate.
You don't beat a sitting governor.
And now that it has clear to him that if Washu people do not want him and his candidate, and he should have a think about his political future.
But you can see the Oni and they're laughing and negotiating with him.
They are not negotiating.
Does that not tell you how the power he pulls?
That is not negotiating. What we had was that he actually approached them to broker a truce between him and Tinubu.
That's to tell you it's a big fight.
No problem. It's a fight. But if he continues like that, he's not going to win.
Why are they doing this to Tinubu?
Well, I said it earlier that some people are saying people are being malicious or people are being this or that against Tinubu. Some people will even tell you that because he is rich, because he's famous, because he's this or that. No, it's not about that. To become a Nigerian president is not about speaking Queen's English or you have the old bank under your control. No, it's not about that. If you remember, Edmund, there was a time a billionaire in this country was slapped by a soldier. It was during the military. I'm talking of Abiola. He was slapped. And they were telling him then that presidency was not for sale. So if such a thing has predated Tinubu, why drumming for him? He's supposed to be looking back.
Tinubu says he has read somewhere in a Greek philosopher's book who says if you want to wrestle with a pig, be ready to get dirty. Tinubu says he is ready to get dirty. I'm asking, who is a pig?
Do you know what? You mentioned Oshibajo, but we have never opened it well. Oshibajo, the way I'm looking at this, is not a candidate of the Yoruba land. He will be a candidate of the North and the presidency. That is, go and check it. And I'm not God, because I'm on radio. But for Tinubu to become a president in this country of today, I doubt it.
Don't underrate that man.
I don't underrate. I'm not underrating.
It's a political strategy.
I know they call him political juggernaut, political this or that.
I don't know.
I know what I'm saying. If those powers behind the kind of June 12, those powers that seize power from the southwest, if they are still existing, if some characters might have become old, some might have gone, but that legacy exists. It persisted today.
I'll bring out a discrepancy from what JK just said.
Okay.
He said Osibajo is the candidate of the North and the presidency.
Yes.
I don't know the presidency you are talking about. If it is the presidency that didn't allow him to function when the presidency was away, we all know what the cabal...
That is another politics.
Listen, sir.
Okay.
Listen, sir. We all know what the cabal... what he went through in the hands of the cabal when Bari was away and power was transmitted to him. Even in the North that we are talking about.
Mr. Maruf, who did that? Then
we are talking about cabal.
I know.
The kitchen cabinet of the...
Did that against Oshibajo.
Yes.
The one they saw, the initial one was that they handed over properly to Oshibajo the first time. Before Buhari came back, Oshibajo performed excellently. And some powers saw it as if a Yoruba man was trying to steal the glory of their son, which are the Northerners. That was the reason the second time he was going. They just wrote a letter that he should be the coordinator of the presidency.
So it is the same North now that you are now saying we prefer Subai to be president. Can you see the discrepancy? It doesn't want that. It doesn't want that.
Wait, that one, they want the 8 years of the president to stand. That is what they are saying. Nobody should usurp that opportunity. That is what they are saying. After him, they can bring anybody.
I have also noticed that Tinubu does not make clear statements. After he speaks, his guys will now come out and say, this is what he means. I'm beginning to ask, is that the kind of president we want? That will make a statement. You now need his media guys to clarify all the time.
No categorical statement.
You know, and if you see, look at Tinubu at Alaafin Palace. I was trying to hear what Tinubu would say, something presidential. You know, how he will move a country. I was hearing him say, you wait for your turn. Now he went to meet the Olubadan to be. I'm ready to fight dirty. I was expecting him to say, I'm in Ibadan. Ibadan is an intellectual capital that in my time as the president, this is what we would do. But it's always, I don't know, should I call it petty statements?
They are not petty statements. I mean, they are statements that he needs to make at this time. Campaign has not started.
It has started.
Far back.
Listen.
Okay.
It is just consultation. And it's weighing the statement so that it doesn't appear that it's going against what INEC authorizes as concerning.
But he has told us he will pay WAEC fee.
Yeah, yes.
That's campaign.
I mean, paying WAEC is even good, because you understand that many students who have studied up to SS3, I mean, are not able to do it because their parents will not.
You are justifying his point.
Yes, yes.
The point is that he has started his campaign.
But we are saying that all the statements that he's making now, they are needed to be made at this time. When it is time to make to release proper manifesto that he wants to do for Nigeria, he will begin to make it. But I don't want to agree that statements that somebody that said is going to get dirty. Some people went to the media, then they twisted it.
No, listen, Maruf.
Yes, sir.
Let's get the words clear. Now let's say it. You know, I asked here, so I'm breaking it down. He said, if I have read somewhere in a Greek philosopher's book who says, if you want to wrestle, to wrestle is to fight. Is it no? That's where the fight comes from. And this time is to fight a pig. Is Tinubu going to hold the pig? He's not going to fight?
I mean, is there no difference?
And if he fights, Tinubu says he's ready to fight to get dirty.
No.
That's what he said. He's ready to get dirty.
It's not the language of Democrats.
He said he's ready to get dirty.
That means from the fight now he will get dirty.
Yes.
Fine. So he's going to fight and he will get dirty.
In general claims, don't they get dirty when it comes to politics?
Look, let's break it down, because I know you're an editor. So if I gave you my book to edit, I know you will do a professional job. He will fight to get dirty. So can it be said that to fight to get dirty is to fight dirty?
To fight
to get
dirty
is to fight dirty.
It's not to fight dirty. To fight to get dirty is to stand up to, to what people might say.
A pig is dirty.
A pig is dirty.
So the only way you can fight a pig is to fight dirty.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's leave that. What is happening to APC in Oyo State? Because I saw you complaining on your page.
Yes,
that the top guys in APC are not taking on Shi.
They are not.
Why?
I don't understand.
It's a divided house.
I don't understand that conspiracy of silence. It is a divided. I agree with you. But I'm saying that the challenges APC is having, are something that we can manage. It's a problem that we can locate. The problem is about sharing the executive in Oyo State between one faction and the rest of the factions. So that's the problem. And I think it's an issue that they can resolve.
One faction is led by Folani.
Other factions, other aspirants.
So for now, Folani is on top of the game.
According to the inauguration they did for Madewu at Abuja.
So Folani is the leader of the party now.
I won't say that.
His man is the chairman of the party.
He is.
So he has the party structure.
Yes, but the problem is, when Madewu came, the first thing he did was to take this, I don't know where I got the list, and went to Okeado APC office to inaugurate them. When there is an harmonized list with the Akin-Oke, so that that's created more problems for him. And I think what should have done is to find a way to get acceptability within the larger party.
Is he doing that now?
I'm not sure he's doing that because, for example, like day before yesterday, they had this local government meeting. Omondewu was there, but the rest of the APC people were not there.
So it's a divided house.
It is.
You are going into the election to fight a sitting governor that has his party on his palm. JK, is she going to deal with them thoroughly this time?
About Oyo State politics. When you want to talk about Sheyi, when you talk about PDP, if you compare from Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, they are listening to me now. I have friends in Ekiti. They work there. We have teachers, other people working. They can call in and just to confirm what I'm trying to say. You see the difference. Before this administration, we were made to know that all this pension, all this salary, all these things, they were not existing. But this government came, cleared everything, and continued paying the salary every month without failing at any point. Where has the money come? We need to think about it. So if you want to fight somebody like that, you have to prepare well. I'm not saying authoritatively that Sheyi will win the second time. I've never met him. I'm never a member of PDP or APC. But what I'm saying is that you vote for candidates, now a city governor, based on performance. As I'm sitting with you here, I voted for about 3 parties during the time of second time Ajimobi. Ajimobi, first time I did not vote for him because I did not know him. But based on performance, what he did for the first time, I voted for him the second time, but I did not vote for his party at the national level. So that is my own interpretation of being a voter, a good voter. You have to go beyond the party affiliations and other things.
We just have to go. The APC need to go and put his house in order, your state.
Yes, PDP also need to go because, that's the point JK failed to address here. You see, PDP is more divided than APC.
It could be.
Yes. So when you say a governor he doesn't have the party in his palm. He only has a minute section of the party in his palm. We are talking about Olokweyan. We are talking about Mulika Adeola. We are talking about Jogo Babalola. All of them are not with Sheyi. Who are the PDP in your state? Are they not the PDP?
Okay.
Did you not come from SDP to join them?
You know.
And about the salary and that you say, and maybe you said you voted for Ajimobi in second time because of his performance.
Yes, for the first time.
Did he hold salary in the first time? When did he begin to hold salary? Was he the only governor who hold salary that hold salary in your state?
Based on that thesis.
Did you hear about the election that took place in your state?
Based on that thesis.
I didn't know you are this partisan, JK.
No, I'm not partisan.
You see, we just have to go. And I must thank both of you.
Okay, thank you.
For what you do on State Affairs WhatsApp group.
Thank you first.
You hit up the group sometimes, and I enjoy it. Though sometimes I want to say, hey, take it easy, calm down.
Silent reader.
Yeah, I'm a silent reader. Even though I'm the administrator of the group.
You are.
But so let the engagement continue on the WhatsApp group.
It's good.
And we'll continue to come here and engage. That's why we set up the WhatsApp group. Maruf, I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
And APC should give you an award. You are taking on Sheyi well. You are dealing with
Even
Sheyi.
unnecessarily.
He takes on Sheyi every time. Go on Maruf and shoot them at this page. APC should give him an award. Thank you, Maruf. Thank you for featuring on State Affairs. Thank you, JK, for coming this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm Edmund Obilo. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
This isn't a fight, alright? It's more like a battle. So you gotta come through from jump. Show them you have too much heart to get bypassed. Because you and I both know nobody's playing in these streets. See, if you hold back, you lose. If you get cold feet, you freeze. That leaves only one way to go, really. And that's hard. So show up, show out, show yourself, battle for your dream.
Only the best stories from the very best dancers will make it to Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria, the search for Nigeria's unlimited dance talents. Watch the next generation of greats go from the streets to winning mega millions and repping Nigeria on the world stage in Europe on Glow TV from February 2022. Get the Glow TV app at myglowtv.com. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
My whole family is proud of the engineer I have become. I owe this success to my mother and a lot of other people, but also to football and the great build as I learned the sport. The rejections taught me to keep fighting. The long hours taught me discipline. Knockdowns taught me to bounce back. And those unexpected victories that taught me to never give up.
Nourish and energize your kids with Milo Active Go to help them succeed in sports. Because the greats they learn in sports, they keep for life. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Hello, Chooks. Biko, wetara new laptop, 2 boxes, rechargeable fan, 3.
Your call credit has been exhausted.
Yeah, Ebuka, Biko, load 1,000 naira Airtel for this phone now. Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in Apuara there. Eh?
Oga, no. As they make plenty call. Now why I use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial *311# from an existing SIM to opt in.
Oh yeah, go buy food for Mama Chi, please. Make she add Ovajara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Vice-Chancellor of the First Technical University, Ibadan, Professor Ayobami Salami, announces its first convocation holding on March 5, 2022. Venue, Tech Use Main Campus, Kilometer 11, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. With the visitor to the university and Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, gracing the occasion. The convocation lecture would be delivered by iconic scholar and administrator, Emeritus Professor Julius Okoje. Honorary doctoral degrees will be conferred on the following 5 distinguished Nigerians: Chief Tundeje Afolabi, Chief Adebayo Akande, Chief Amapepo, Professor Toyin Falola, and Mr. Shebu Agbaje. First Technical University, Ibadan. Developing brains, training hands.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Every day is a good day when you've got what it takes. Cowbell evaporated milk gives your body what it needs. Ain't nourish no. Happy Cowbell day, creamy goodness so.
Cowbell evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
So creamy, so good.
Cowbell evaporated milk. So creamy, so good.
Cowbell, I want milk.
Charles!
Yes, Mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Fresh out with the day's breakfast. Yummy. With Mama Do's bread for bread. Yummy. We love its rich and buttery taste. Yummy. We love to have it with our bread. Yummy. Nutritious. Mama Do's bread for bread. We like it. Mama Do's bread for bread. Delicious. Mama Do's bread for bread. We love it. Mama Do's bread for bread.
New Mama Do's bread for bread. It gives you the right nutrients and energy to be your best each new day. New Mama Do's bread for bread. Deliciously nourishing for a bright start.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
On the front page of the Saturday Tribune, Ukrainian soldiers threatened to shoot us. Returnee students speak. Have you seen the front page of the Nation? APC chairmanship aspirants adamant. Governors push for open race. Buhari to meet aspirants after medical trip. Why caretaker committee is yet to sell forms. Interesting times in the APC. How we escape intense bombing Death in Ukraine, Russian war, Nigerians speak, beg Kwankwaso not to leave Kano PDP chair. Tell Saraki, but Kwankwaso wants to be president and he's already talking about a third force. Third force? Hey, Buhari hasn't cancelled UK medical trip. Jets out on Sunday. Panic in Ogun, community over planned demolition of 800 buildings. The Vanguard says Nigerians return with tales of woes. That is the bold headline on the front page of the Vanguard. I would rather remain a refugee than return to Nigeria. Nigerian trapped in Ukraine speaks. Please stay there and fight the war. After all, El-Rufai says there is a war going on in Nigeria. I just finished discussing political parties with Maruf Ashudemade and J.K. Olashupo. Last week, I had this time with Femi Babalola, one of the leaders of the PDP in Oyo State. Shemakide doing well.
The party is doing well.
What about the governor?
As an individual, I don't know, but it's a PDP government.
You see, you don't know.
It's a PDP government.
Femi Jogo doesn't know if she is doing well. How come you're not interested? Because if you don't know, it simply means you are not interested.
I am interested in what goes on around me. I live in this state. I work in this state. So I should be interested in what goes on around me.
A government you helped install.
I should be interested in the extent at which it is open and available to me.
Did Shea Makinde kick you out? Did he take you to the periphery in the scheme of things?
I doubt if he has that power. He didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't.
But you're not inside.
Yes, I'm not within the government. I couldn't have taken an appointment. And if I was not invited, I wouldn't be there. If I was invited for technical advice or rules, I would go. But if I was not invited, there was no point going in there.
This is a government you have installed.
Absolutely.
And you said Shea Makinde did not keep to the terms.
Absolutely.
What are the terms?
The terms with the party members.
What are those terms?
Not as individuals.
Yes, you as an individual too.
Personal recognition of party members.
What do you mean by recognition?
Roles for party members.
Commissioner?
Roles.
Contracts?
Roles. Joint decisions. Joint decisions taken is the overall role I'm referring to. It's not a one-man show. We expected the governor to sit down at intervals with party members to take decisions.
Is he not doing that?
He didn't do that.
No, he's not doing that with Jogo.
He didn't do that. Who are the party members?
There's a party chairman.
Okay.
There's Arakmaja.
Arakmaja was never with us.
Yes, but he's with you now.
So he wasn't part of the people that cooked the soup.
So must he be part of it?
Of course.
He can come in at any time and lick the soup.
He never had terms. He never had agreement with the party. So we are talking of people that committed their time when we were in opposition for 8 years, that didn't do anything, did not flirt with APC, saw APC as an option, didn't go to APC, stayed and believed in their party that one day we'll get it there, stood together, made a formidable team. Those are the people I'm referring to. Not people that left the party when the party was in opposition and now came back. No, I don't count those people as party members.
Shea Makinde did not do well.
In what? In which area?
Abandoning the party members.
He didn't do well by abandoning party members.
Is that why they are?
He didn't do well. It is wrong. It is wrong for any individual to do that to party members.
I saw what happened in Jogo Hall.
Okay.
I saw the frenzy. So you were sweeping Shea Makinde out.
Yeah, the party members did.
You were in that meeting?
I was, yeah. The party members did.
So you don't want Shea come 2023?
The party members will decide. I'm an individual.
She has taken the party.
That's not true.
She has the chairman of the party on his palm.
We are.
She has become big.
We are 3 months away.
She is influential now.
We are 3 months.
He wants to decide what will happen in Oshun.
We are 3 months.
Fayose blocked him a bit in Ekiti.
So what happened in Oshun?
No,
tell me.
No, tell me.
This candidate didn't win. Yeah, Demola won.
Not Dele. Not Dele.
No.
Is Shea Makinde losing it?
I don't know, but I mean...
In Ekiti, Fayose gets him some...
Let me tell you something. I am a student of Adedibu's politics. You remember I told you?
Mm-hmm.
I will say it anywhere. And Baba will always say, we'll show him the other side of politics. What Baba is saying, what that meant then was, it's all right, you can have your way sometimes, but the home of politics, the rudiments of politics, we know it. When the time comes, the time will come.
So you guys will deal with it?
The guys will. I've never said that.
So what did you say?
I've
You said
just
the
said
time
that
will come.
the party owners will take over their party at the right time.
At the right time?
Yes.
In Oyo?
In Oyo, yes.
With she as governor?
Yes.
Femi Balola is dreaming.
Oh, I love that.
The governor is the king of the party.
I love that. I love that.
He decides what happens.
I love that.
He has placed his man at the right point.
I love that.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
As Femi Babalola and others prepare to deal with she in the PDP, who will deal with Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company for distributing poor lights to the people? Who will? Olumide Akimushere, Ibadan Regional Head, is on State Affairs. Good to have you here.
Thank you, Edmund.
Who will deal with IBDC?
I want to tell you that we are committed to giving proper service for our customers once we are given those products by the Gencos and the transmission. And I want to tell you that everything is on deck to make sure that the people actually enjoy the services right now.
So it's not IBDC that is to blame?
Yes, it's not IBDC. And you could even find out that the Minister for Power came out to actually inform the public what is actually causing this epileptic power supply.
So tell us, what's causing it?
Basically, I need to tell you that the power grid right now has fallen drastically. Nigeria has the capacity to generate about 14,000 megawatts of power. But in reality, we are only generating 4 right now. And the 4 is to be shared among 193 million population. You can see what I'm talking about. Very, very insignificant as per need. So when the transition of water goes down during the dry season, it allows that power from the hydro equally is not supplied to the grid, and that also limits the power grid. Also, the advent of gas shortage, as per what's actually happening right now, which I cannot explain, is also causing the limitation in the generation. And once the generation is low, transmission too will follow suit. That invariably means that what we are going to distribute is going to be very, very low. And that's what the people are actually feeling right now.
You know, that market woman in Bere cannot differentiate between Gencos and Discos.
That's a problem. And that's why we are coming out to let people know that there are 3 value chain players in the scheme of things right now: the Gencos, transmission, and the distributors, like we are the Discos. The fact is that it is whatever the Gencos gives to the transmission that they will also give to us in lieu too. And so if it is limited, it invariably means that what we're going to give to our customer will also be limited. Let me tell you, Edmund, there's no person that is in this business that will want his customer to be in problem. We are in a value chain system such that whatever is given to us is what we give to the public. And what is given to us right now is rather very insignificant, and is impacting negatively on our image to the public.
You know, I went to barb my hair yesterday, and my barber's shop is very close to your head office on Ring Road. He was running his gen, and he was very angry with IBDC. And I said, okay, do they have lights there? He said, no, they are using gen too. Is that what you do?
You see, let me tell you something. The fact is that what people don't understand is whatever affects everybody affects people in IBDC too.
So you run generator too?
Sometimes.
Oh. They're not absurd?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. You see, he who fails to plan to fail. Let me tell you, let me give you a typical example of situation in other African countries. In Ghana, they generate about 5,200 megawatts of power. In South Africa, they generate 48,000 megawatts of power. In Nigeria, we are barely generating 4,000 for 193 million people. Edmund, there's no way we are going to talk about development in that realm.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did I hear the president is going to London for Medicare? No, Mr. President, you're not going anywhere this time. Is there light in Aso Rock? I think they should turn off the generators there. Let's turn off the generators. Perhaps we'll wake up. Gencos cannot generate. There is problem with transmission. But you cannot put everything on Gencos, huh?
Yes.
Even when they give you, your distribution channels are weak, are they not?
But when you talk about distribution channels, that is not under us. It is under transmission. I can tell you right now that sometimes 7,000 megawatts was actually generated, but only about 4,000 was able to be wheeled down to the discos.
Why?
Meaning that some of these network have been there since the years of ECN, NEPA, and they've not been replaced. You know, there are needs for network enhancement. These things have been old and they needed to be changed. And because somebody is not doing what it's supposed to do, it's impacting on the product delivery to the end users. If we do what we are supposed to do, and I think government has done something right now. They signed a contract with this Siemens, and the contract is supposed to do some enhancements in the network. It's supposed to bring in some transformers. They're supposed to even change some of those old lines that have become moribund. And when this is done, I think it's going to impact positively on the service delivery.
Even transformers in many areas are not working well.
Yes, because
that is for the discos.
You see, let me tell you something. People don't know, and I want to let you know today, that in the value chain, there is a percentage of what comes to us. For every 100 naira that a customer pays, only 23 naira gets to us in the value chain. And it's from this 23 naira per 100 naira that we pay salaries, we buy transformers, we do a lot of things, network enhancement, we do a lot of programs, we do a lot of enhancement, we do a lot of customer sensitization. Edmund, 23 naira in this present circumstance.
23 naira times 190 million people. Calculate it that way.
If 193 million people pays, it will be okay. But I can tell you that less than 30 to 40% of the customer pays.
Even Sheyi Makinde does not pay.
I'm not saying that.
Have you not said that before?
I didn't say that.
Is that not why both of you fought?
Well, we whatever it is, we have what we call a relationship with our customers. And based on our relationship, it is set that once a customer refuses to do his obligation, we have a right to do certain things. After engagement and the engagement has not been met, then we could go for the last resort.
You know, at the point I was now wondering, is it that after the fight, the issue became worse?
It wasn't because of the fight. There was no fight. It was just...
No, there was a fight.
It was a customer...
you bully me, I bully you.
Well, if you say that, that's not what I'm saying. Mine is that we gave a service and we expected that we should be remunerated from the service we are given, and it didn't come. And then engagement didn't solve the problem.
Did you turn off the light at that time?
Well, what actually happened was we as an organization has what we need to do to make sure that things are done properly. And one of it is disconnection, but it is a last resort.
No, did you disconnect the city?
No, we did not.
There was no light during the fight.
It wasn't because of that fight. It was because at that particular time, that was the time that the generation came down seriously from 4,000 to 2,200 megawatts over the nation. And we couldn't get enough. It was just coincidental.
There was heavy rain yesterday.
Yes.
I hope it rained at Kainji.
Well, you see, what I'm telling you is that even if it rained at Kainji, there's a quantum of rain that needs to get to Kainji before the hydro can be powered. It's not just one day rain. There's a volume of water that needs to be able to power the turbine. If that water is not inadequate, it will still be limited. So rain might fall, but it might not be enough to power the turbines.
And we don't have gas.
Well, you see, Edmund, I'm not learned in this area, and I'm not going to say much on it. But the fact is that Nigeria has a lot of gas. We are even flaring gas. But the fact is that why and how we didn't have enough to be able to power the thermal station, I might not be able to explain.
08091551055, 08056998678, and 0706949300. If you have any question for the regional head, Ibadan regional head of IBEDC, Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, I'm talking about Olumide Akimushere. He is my guest on State Affairs. So, if you have any question to ask, please do that first. 080-915-510-55. Do you still go around ensuring that people pay their bills?
Well, you see, you need to pay, because for those that have meters and for those that have prepaid meters too, there's a quantum of energy that will read on your meter. So you should pay. You should pay for the services rendered.
But do you still have the boldness to go to the area to say pay?
Well, what we do is to do what we call a community engagement. We need to sensitize them, to let them know why the situation is like that. And some of them do. And you know, we have a lot of customer forum that will go, we have meetings with them, and then we tell them what the situation is. And once we give them those information, they assist us in doing wonders to our collection.
I can tell you the people are angry.
I know. I know they are
I'm
angry.
even angry.
I know you are angry. But I want to tell you that it's not going to be forever. We are doing something wonderfully to make sure that we reverse the trend. And I can tell you very soon, you will smile.
Yes, you just assured me.
I can assure you that.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, please. I'm calling from, my name is Adibaya. I'm calling from Akobo.
All right.
I have a question for Mr. Olumide.
Go ahead.
How long, Mr. Olumide, how long are we going to be hearing this same story? All the time I was in primary school, this is the same thing they always tell us. Generation. We have engineers, we have people who are well read in this electricity business. And up to now, it means they cannot have enough people that can work out how we can generate from all this wind, solar, hydro, and all the mix-up of power that we have in Nigeria. How long are we going to be having this shortfall every kind of dry season? That shortage of water from Kanji that is causing the problem. It is not acceptable at this period of development age.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I want to tell you that this problem has lingered for so long. And that was why I said that we need to be more proactive in our planning. You see, the rate at which the population booms is on a geometric rate. But the rate at which we do our planning is on a geometric rate. So there is a shortfall in what is produced in tandem with the needs of the people. So if the people, the government could, do one or two things, like what I got to know in South Africa is that they have a combination of sources of supply. They have the biomass, they have hydro, they have... do
they have nuclear?
They have nuclear, yes. South Africa generates about 4,000 megawatts from hydro alone. From hydro, and from biomass, they generate about 1,000 megawatts. So they have series of areas by which they can generate to bring into the grid. If you have multiple sources of power, not only limited to thermal and hydro alone, I think it will go a long way towards assisting us in getting to the promised land.
I'm also happy the National Assembly is trying to decentralize power. You hear of national grid. States should be able to generate power.
Yes, Edmund, but I need to tell you that it costs money to generate power. The state might not have the wherewithal to be able to do that.
Yeah, they were going to remove a lot of stuff from the exclusive list, take it down to the concurrent list so that the states can have the capacity to generate money.
I am telling you, if the federal government could not do it with that might, how sure are you that
Lagos should be able to do it?
Lagos tried during the time of Ashwaji Bola Tinubu, but they could not sustain it.
Because Obasanjo frustrated.
Well, I would know of that.
Okay. Any other caller here? Hello. Who's there? We are talking about power. And IBEDC is on state affairs. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Edmund. I'm Coyote from Ojo.
All right, Coyote.
Please, I want to ask the NEPA man over there. The billing system that they use, or the way they are billing people, what modality are they using? Then number two, we discovered that despite the fact that there is serious low supply of electricity, the bills keep on increasing. For example, in our area around Arulogun, Ojo, Yolo inside, we hardly have lights for a week throughout a month. If I'm not even up to 3 days, full 3 days throughout a month, yet the billing system continues to increase every month.
Are you on estimated billing? Are you on estimated billing?
No. Yes, I'm on estimated billing.
All right.
Previously, it was about 3,005. Now, the last one they distributed was around 5,000 naira. Despite the fact that they had problems with your state, for like 2 weeks there was no light, and yet they kept increasing the bill.
All right.
So please, what method are they using to bill people? Then we had the federal government said the meter is for free. So if we want to get it, how can we get it? Because in our community, we've gone to the office, they promised us for the past 2 years, we've not even been able to lay our hands on one. So what are the modalities we can follow for us to get the meter for free? Thanks.
Let me start by answering the last question, and that is that what modalities is entailed in being able to access the meter. Just get to our office, any of our offices, and get to the customer care. You will be registered. Your name will be put into the database, and a PIN will be generated for you. That PIN entitles you for what we call an assessment, technical evaluation. Once the technical evaluation is done, the next thing is the meter would be restored to your abode.
So how long does it take for that technical examination?
The technical evaluation is a function of the fact is that it doesn't even take time. I mean, maximum 2 days before the technical evaluation is done. But most times, when customers come, the vital information they need to give, they are missing. Like you need to show an identity that you are the person on that name. You also need to tell us where your house is located, because we need to take what we call a georeference. We take the X and Y coordinates of your place so that we can localize it to our meter, so that it will be very easy for us to locate you.
So the point you are making is that you have enough meters.
Well, for right now, there are enough meters. Anyone that wants to access can access meters.
They don't have to pay?
Well, you see, there are two areas. Let me not come here and tell you something. There are two products. We have what we call the free meter program of the government, by the federal government.
Yeah.
That one is in place. And we also have MAP, also by the government. Those ones are in place. So if you could not access the free meter, you could also access that of the MAP. Both of them are running pari passu.
You will pay for the MAP.
You will pay for it. Is what we call it. You pay, but it will be credited back to you in form of overtime, and with even 12%. 12% increase in payment. It's not like a credit advance program. You pay, the money will be credited back to you in form of power, and then you also have 12% on the amount of money.
That's 12% in the interest.
Yes, interest
for borrowing you money.
That's something like that. It was a program that was initiated by government to mitigate against this shortfall, and then to also cut time lag in being able to access meter.
Now, how do you generate your billing?
Well, you see, let me tell you, Edmund, when people say estimated bill, I tell them, it's not a crime giving estimated bill. Even in advanced countries, some areas are also built on estimate. We are over-regulated. We are a regulated organization. There is a procedure through which you follow in being able to give an estimated bill. And you can find out NEC sets those rules, and we dare not contravene those rules. If we do, we'll be sanctioned. And let me give you a bit of information on that. What they do is like they do like for like, although it might not be totally perfect, but it's seemingly close to it. We're looking at Edmund living at area A, where the power supply is about 8 hours. What are the gadgets that Edmund has? This and this. We're also looking at B, that also lives in the same vicinity, but does not have meter, but Edmund has meter. Now, Edmund pays so amount of money, you understand? Then they now look for an average within which the person that does not have a meter gets. And let me tell you something, most times it is lower than what a person that has a meter
You know,
gets.
I have this experience. During the COVID-19, I have an apartment in Lagos.
Okay.
I didn't go there for 1 year.
Okay.
I went there and I saw bills.
Okay.
And I went to a co-editor. I said, what are you saying? You didn't come into this flat. Are you living bills? I didn't use your light.
Okay. You see, there is also a methodology in that, and that's what we call credit adjustment system. Once it is found out that you were not in there at those particular time, you write a letter to our office, and we'll do a credit adjustment, and then it will be reversed, and then it will be credited back to your account.
Are you that nice?
That's what we do.
IBC
That's what
is very nice.
I sign every day credit adjustment for customers.
You see, I know the regional head of IBDC. If they don't treat you well, come and tell me. I'll take him up. He has said it on this radio now. So let's prove him right. If you know you have a problem, get to me, and I'll take it to his table. Mr. Olumide, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
Thank you, Edmond.
Olumide Akimushere is Ibadan Regional Head, IBEDC. We look forward to having electricity, but despite the pain and the struggle, remain calm. Calm down. The radio man is here. I'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Every day is a good day when you've got what it takes. Cowbell evaporated milk gives your body what it needs. Ain't nourish no. Happy Cowbell day, creamy goodness.
Cowbell evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
So creamy, so good.
Cowbell evaporated milk. So creamy, so good.
Ọlọ́run wòlíì Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ máa ró gbogbo ènìyàn lágbára níbi ìpàdé májẹ̀mú 72 hours.
72 hours ní mẹ́síkà àkọ́kọ́ lélẹ́yìn ní 2022. Power and air. Àkòrí tí Ọlọ́run fún Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ o. CAC májẹ̀mú àánú ogun aládùúwà. Ó yá ká gbójú wa kúrò lára ènìyàn. Ká lọ bèrè fún agbára Ọlọ́run tó máa so wá pọ̀ mọ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ àgbáyé. Ìwọ náà wá darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rí ti kọ́ńtà yìí o. Látọjọ́ Friday 11 ní Sunday 13th March. Nígbà tí Ọlọ́run bá lu ọ̀pọ̀ àwọn ìránṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí bíi Pásítọ̀ Adélakùn Ayẹwà, Bùkọ́lá Ajáde Ṣẹ́wọ́lẹ́jẹ́, Ìlàjà Kétúndé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, Yẹmí David Látàbúlé, Dání Ológun Àrà, Prọfẹ̀tà Táíwò Òjó bàbá ìṣẹ́jú orí afẹ́fẹ́ yóò máa sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ìyanu yóò máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lójú ẹsẹ̀ láti Ìwọ́rọ̀dù Ìbàdàn. Bó ti jẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, Ọ̀ṣẹ́gẹ̀rẹ̀ ní Mẹ́síkàm ní kẹ́ ẹ máa bọ̀. Bàbá ti wọnú àdúrà. Láago mẹ́sàn-án lọ́jọ́ Friday 11. Ọjọ́ Monday ní kùtùkùtù la máa ṣorí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Wá agbára Ọlọ́run tó máa sọ pọ̀ mọ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hyper bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hyper bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Vice-Chancellor of the First Technical University, Ibadan, Professor Ayobami Salami, announces its first convocation holding on March 5, 2022. Venue, Tech Use Main Campus, Kilometer 11, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Time, 10 a.m. prompt, with the visitor to the university and Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, gracing the occasion. The convocation lecture would be delivered by iconic scholar and administrator Emeritus Professor Julius Okoje. Honorary doctoral degrees will be conferred on the following 5 distinguished Nigerians: Chief Tundeje Afolabi, Chief Adebayo Akande, Chief Amapepo, Professor Toyin Falola, and Mr. Shebu Agbaje. First Technical University, Ibadan, developing brains, training hands.
Thank you. My whole family is proud of the engineer I have become. I owe this success to my mother and a lot of other people, but also to football and the great build as I learned the sport. The rejections taught me to keep fighting. The long hours taught me discipline. Knockdowns taught me to bounce back. And those unexpected victories that taught me to never give up.
Nourish and energize your kids with Milo Active Go to help them succeed in sports, because the greats they learn in sports, they keep for life. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Hello, Chooks. Biko, wetara new laptop, 2 boxes, rechargeable fan, 3.
Your call credit has been exhausted.
Yeah, Ebuka, Biko, load 1,000 naira Airtel for this phone now. Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in Apuara there.
Oga, no. As you make plenty call. Now why use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial *311# from an existing SIM to opt in.
Oh yeah, take. Go buy food for Mama Cheap Place. Make she add Ovajara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Splash FM 105.5.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Is Makinde doing well?
The party is doing well.
What about the governor?
As an individual, I don't know, but it's a PDP government.
You see, you don't know.
It's a PDP government.
Femi Jogo doesn't know if she is doing well. How come you're not interested? Because if you don't know, it simply means you are not interested.
I am interested in what goes on around me. I live in this state. I work in this state. So I should be interested in what goes on around me.
A government you help install.
I should be interested in the extent at which it is open and available to me.
Did Seyi Makinde kick you out? Did he take you to the periphery in the scheme of things?
I doubt if he has that power. He didn't. He didn't.
But you're not inside.
Yes, I'm not within the government. I couldn't have taken an appointment. I was not invited. I wouldn't be there. If I was invited for technical advice or rules, I would go. But if I was not invited, there was no point going in there.
This is a government you have installed.
Absolutely.
And you said Seyi Makinde did not keep to the terms.
Absolutely.
What are the terms?
The terms with the party members.
What are those terms?
Not as individuals.
Yes, you as an individual too.
Personal recognition of party members.
What do you mean by recognition?
Roles for party members.
Commissioner?
Roles.
Contracts?
Roles. Joint decisions. Joint decisions taken is the overall role I'm referring to. It's not a one-man show. We expected the governor to sit down at intervals with party members to take decisions.
Is he not doing that?
He didn't do that.
No, he's not doing that with Jogo.
He didn't do that. Who are the party members?
There's a party chairman.
Okay.
There's Arakmaja.
Arakmaja was never with us.
Yes, but he's with you now.
So he wasn't part of the people that cooked the soup.
So must he be part of it?
Of course.
You can come in at any time and make the soup.
He never had terms. He never had agreement with the party. So we are talking of people that committed their time when we were in opposition for 8 years, that didn't do anything, did not flirt with APC, saw APC as an option, didn't go to APC, stayed and believed in their party that one day we'll get it there, stood together, made a formidable team. Those are the people I'm referring to. Not people that left the party when the party was in opposition and now came back. No, I don't count those people as party members.
Seyi Makinde did not do well.
In what? In which area?
Abandoning the party members.
He didn't do well by abandoning party members.
Is that why they are?
He didn't do well. It is wrong. It is wrong for any individual to do that to party members.
I saw what happened in Jogo Hall.
Okay.
I saw the frenzy. So you were sweeping Seyi Makinde out.
Yeah, the party members did.
You were in that meeting?
I was, yeah. The party members did.
So you don't want Seyi come 2023?
The party members will decide. I'm an individual.
She has taken the party.
That's not true.
She has the chairman of the party on his palm.
We are.
She has become big.
We are 3 months away.
She is influential now.
We are 3 months.
He wants to decide what will happen in Osun.
I
think Fayose blocked him a bit in Ekiti.
So what happened in Osun?
No,
tell me.
No, tell me.
Seyi's candidate didn't win. Yeah, Demola won.
Not
Dele.
Not Dele.
No.
Is Seyi Makinde losing it?
I don't know, but I mean,
in Ekiti,
let me tell you something. I am a student of Adedibu's politics. You remember I told you?
Mm-hmm.
I will say it anywhere. And Baba will always say, we'll show him the other side of politics. What Baba is saying, what that meant then was, it's all right, you can have your way sometimes, but the home of politics, the rudiments of politics, we know it. When the time comes, the time will come.
So you guys will deal with Seyi?
The guys will. I've never said that.
So what did you say?
I've
You said
just
the
said
time
that
will come.
the party owners will take over their party at the right time.
At the right time?
Yes.
In Oyo?
In Oyo, yes.
With Seyi as governor?
Yes.
Femi Balola is dreaming.
Oh, I love that.
The governor is the king of the party.
I love that. I love that.
He decides what happens.
I love that.
He has placed his man at the right point.
I love that.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
All right. The game is on and the radio man is set for the game. Russia assault on Ukraine. You must have read about Vladimir Lenin, a communist theoretician. Lenin, remember the Russian Revolution? He says as long as capitalism and socialism exist, we cannot live in peace. In the end, either one or the other will triumph. A funeral song will be done for either over the Soviet Republic or over world capitalism. And that funeral was done for the Soviet Republic in 1991. That's the fall of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War. Putin is back. Do you know why Putin is angry? Check my pages on Twitter, on Facebook from next week. I'll begin to give you analysis of a new era that is coming in world politics as Russia bombards Ukraine. It is Ukraine that is feeling the heat, but it's a war between Russia and the United States. Will Putin provoke Europe to join the war? The way Hitler provoked Britain to enter the Second World War. The way Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and dragged America into the war. What is in it for Africa? Remember, Russia is already in Africa. The 3 coups in Africa recently, Russia had its hand in the coups. Are you watching keenly? Where does Nigeria stand? As you watch, let's reflect on the poetry of redemption. When a poet writes about his daughter, it reminds me of the beauty of childhood. With my daughter on a Sunday afternoon, trying to get some sleep on a Sunday afternoon is an impossible task when you are a father to a boisterous little girl. Savio Badamusi, how is that little girl?
She's doing fine. Good morning, Edmund.
Did that little girl make Papa sleepless?
Well, as is customary of children, she did all she could. But you know, it's one of the adjustments that one has to make in life, right? Because this poem is for my first daughter, and it sort of heralded a new phase in my life because I had not been a parent before. So I had to adjust here and there, and just one Sunday afternoon when I returned from church, I was tired, trying to get some rest. That was when the event that inspired this poem took place. She wanted to play. She doesn't understand the fact that someone can be tired and need to sleep. So she wanted attention, and she was doing her best to get it.
So a poet writes about family too?
Sure.
A poet writes about everything?
Every and anything. Poetry can be found in every sphere of life. It all depends on how the poet is inspired to put the words together and commit them to the page or even to performance at that point in time.
I wonder why your sins are telling your mouth what to say. That's on page 39. The night asks me how it feels to be alive, dreaming of the words sweet face and the last drop of camel's milk. Camel's milk? Have you taken from a camel's milk before?
Well, personally, no.
So how come you got to know about that?
Well, I did stay a few years in North Central, in northern Nigeria. And then at a point, I was doing some work around about 10, 11 states in the north. So I got to experience some of those things. And then besides that, there are books, there are documentaries about life across and around the Sahara Desert. And I've actually digested quite a number of these, plus also discussed with a number of people who have had to make that journey or who even keep camels.
So a poet researches his language?
Yes. Well, a poet is a keen observer in the first place. And maybe not just a poet, every artist, right? Because there's a way the environment that you reside in finds its way into your stream of thoughts. And you know what, consciously or unconsciously, that sort of seeps into the writing that comes from you. That's why the environment is very important. It's important that we pay attention to not just human affairs, but also things that we can learn from the environment, from the living and even the dead things around us.
Where the Light Enters You is the title of a new book written by Savio Badamusi. It's a collection of poems, Where the Light Enters You. You know, I'm looking at the picture on the front cover of the book. So, where did the light enter him? I'm trying to, he has how many eyes? How come his eyes is on the side of his head?
Well, that's the cover. The cover was done by my good friend D. Sylvester. Before now, we had experimented with quite a number of designs, but this was the one we felt sort of conveyed the imagery that we were trying to reflect on the cover. And now this is actually symbolic. This is symbolic, and we situated the light permeating the head because we feel that the head is the center of the intellect, because it houses the brain. And with that comes illumination, with that comes vision, with that comes dreams and aspirations that drag the entire, all the other organs of the body along with it.
Where the light enters you. So why the light?
Well, the title was inspired by a quotation from the late Sufi poet Rumi, and he says, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." The wound is the place where the light enters you. So basically what I've done with this second collection of poems is to chronicle my journey into adulthood. Of course, I'm edging towards midlife, and you know, it is popularly said that there is a crisis that comes with that when you're entering midlife. But this is not actually a documentary of that. What this attempted to do was to tell my journey of evolving from a youth who was carefree about his life, who was naive, into finding myself, coming into my own, the good, the bad experiences that I've had with people, friends, family, associates, acquaintances, and then also happenings in the larger society. When I say happenings now, I don't mean just on the political scene. I mean in education, in economics, you know, in different aspects in the world of business and in human relations generally.
Poetry. Let me read from the poet's book again. I'm on page 53 of the book, The Law of Waters. Tonight in Kanu, a fleet of buses is loading, heading to the fringes of the Sahara in search of hope. Hope. Why do we need to search for hope?
Well, if you are fortunate or unfortunate to live in a country such as ours, I can't imagine a day without hope. Because what else do you have to cleave to? What else do you have to cleave to in the face of all the unpleasant happenings around us? The lack of essential social amenities. There's been barely no power supply in this town, in my part of this town, especially in this town for months now. So we say we make do, we create alternative power, we get generators, and then we use it, but we still can't get the fuel. So as a creative, as somebody who has a business to run or who wants to be a productive human being, your productivity by forces beyond your control. And out of whatever little resources that you have, you still have to dip your hands into that purse and use it to ameliorate some of this pain. But now, even the quest to ameliorate the pain is becoming harder to do.
That's the search for hope.
So if you do not have hope and you're going through all sorts of things like this, all sorts of societal ills and imbalances in the society, how else what would give you the incentive, for example, to not kill yourself? What would sustain you? What would... it may just be a flicker or a glimmer of light at the end of that tunnel, but there has to be something that will sustain your quest to keep moving on.
Searching for hope. What does Olokun has to do with it?
Well, this poem is actually titled The Law of Waters, this particular poem we were discussing right now, and it talks about migration, the irregular and illegal migration routes that a lot of our people, and not just Nigerians, people across Africa and even the Americas have been forced to take. There's this quotation by the Somali English poet that says, "Nobody runs away from home unless home is the mouth of a shark." Now, people are searching for hope. They are looking to settle into societies that are more developed and that function better than ours. And people are taking every means at their disposal to achieve this quest. Now, irregular migration is highly risky, and it even comes at a lot of financial expense to these people, because I'm sure the people who arrange it for them actually charge them in the hundreds of thousands of naira to make those trips. And these are trips most times of no return.
They die there.
A lot of them die. A lot of them, even those ones who are not dead, Some of them their organs are harvested and trafficked. Some of the women are trafficked. They become parts of different drug rackets or sexual trafficking rackets here and there. And if you look at, then a lot of them also die at sea. A lot of them die at sea when their boat capsizes. Because their boats are not equipped for such journeys. And even those rickety boats that they actually use are overloaded. Maybe it's supposed to take 50 people and you have like 150, 200 people on it.
So this poet is going through pain.
Yes, because these stories are everywhere. These stories are everywhere. And if you even check, if you talk to a few people, they will tell you they know somebody who has attempted to travel out using some of one or more of these channels. And it's all in the quest and the search for a better life, a search for hope.
You need to read this book. Read the poet. Where the light enters you. Why don't you read enough of poetry and calm yourself down? But poets are always agonizing. Will a poet ever be happy?
Well, poets can also be happy, because happiness itself is a human emotion that everybody has a right and capacity to feel at different points in life. Because if you go through this collection, there are poems that convey a sort of peace, a sort of calmness, love.
You know, sometimes I said, so does Savio feel love? Because I saw you talking about love.
Well, I do feel love too.
No wonder you got married now. If you don't love, do you get married, Bosun?
I am human too.
I know. Now, before we go, there's this one that thrills me a lot, the language of the drum.
Okay.
For me, or should I? You know, on page 86, you said, when will you ever rest? Are you the dog's mouth? Did you swallow
a mother? When will you ever rest?
Then you said, at 60, I could not believe the pains you told. If a man is still struggling and fighting at 60, when will his rest ever come? Do you want Oshudari to relax?
Sadly, I think that he and people of his generation, it saddens me when I see that we still put the burden of being the conscience of the society on them.
Why are you feeling their pain for them? Leave their pain for them.
Well, because these are men who all through their life have made sacrifices for the advancement of people of this country, for the greater good of this country.
Are they complaining?
Well, they are not complaining, but I do not see people in my age group and below. I do not see us fitting into those shoes.
So what are we doing? So you mean we are playing here?
Well, I am not saying we are playing. I'm simply saying we need to do more.
Are you not doing more?
Well, I am only one person. This is a country of over 160 million people.
There are many of you.
Well, maybe then we need to gain more visibility. We need to synergize more and become more strategic about how we advance these ideologies and these causes that we believe in.
Should we not blame Oshudari for the conditions we are today? The Oshudaris, should we not blame them?
Why would you blame him?
They didn't fight enough at that time.
Oh, there's a Yoruba saying that says Mojamosa Lamaki Konjulogun. You say you know when to fight, and then you know when to run from the battlefront so that you can live to fight another day.
Oshudamilari, resonating thunderstorm. The wine bottle is broken. What would the drinker do?
Sand is the new clay. What will the potter do?
You know, Shudari has done well.
Yes.
I celebrate him.
Yes.
And I'm happy you wrote this poem and dedicated it to him. But I'm not saying he should rest.
Well, I am not saying,
Because he cannot rest, the land is still in pain.
This has become his life, actually. And I'm talking not just about Professor Shindari now, about many of his other comrades that we have in the society too. This has become their life. This life, this is the work they have done all their life, advancing the good of the people of this nation.
And I'm assuring your Shudaris that we have come.
Yes,
fix it.
We are here, but we need to do more.
You know, I bought a book of Oshudari for you. Because you dedicated a poem to him, I decided to buy his new book for you.
Thank you so
much. He has a new collection of poems, snap songs, home grunts, and foreign flares. Volume 1. Oshudari's poems. Read it and be happy. So this is for you, Sergio.
Thank you so much, Edmund.
And thank you for coming on State Affairs.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I recommend Sergio Badamosi's book to you, Where the Light Enters You. I'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
The number you have dialed is currently switched off. Please try again later.
Ṣé kìí ṣe pé mo ti tẹsẹ̀ bọ́ pàkúté báyìí? Ẹni tí mo kó wá àgbàdo fún láti bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì ni mi rí yìí. Àrà àgbàdo, àtúrówó, nọ́mbà dráìvà náà kò tún wá lọ. Kí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe báyìí?
Ìyá Àṣẹ̀kí, ṣebí mo wí fún ọ pé tó o bá fẹ́ ra àgbàdo níbi tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀, ọ̀dọ̀ Apex ni ọ lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n o takú olóòjẹ́rìí òǹbàrà rẹ̀. Sọ́tán, ọ̀dọ̀ Apex lèmi ti ń ra gbogbo àgbàdo àti sóyà mi o. Ò rí báwọn nǹkan ọ̀sìn mi ṣe ń dẹ́ yọ̀yọ̀yọ̀ tí wọ́n tóbi fàkíàfàkíà. Ọbẹ̀.
Ká ní mo dẹ̀ ti wá mọ̀ ni. Ṣé bí mi ò bá ti tẹ̀lé yín lọ́jọ́ yẹn?
Kè tí ì pẹ́jù. Sáré download Comex app báyìí lórí Google Play Store tàbí Apple Store. Kó o bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rojúlówó àgbàdo àti sóyà fáwọn nǹkan ọ̀sìn rẹ. Kódà gan bọ̀ bá ló lọ, Apex lè yá ọ lówó láti ṣe nǹkan ọ̀sìn pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn. Ó yá download Comex app báyìí. Kó o pe nọ́mbà ìfẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé 0903 000 1333.
Lónìí ni kò ní dọ̀là, mo gbọ́dọ̀ download Comex app báyìí.
Tó o bá ti dọ́dọ̀ Apex, ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ fún gbogbo oníǹkan ọ̀sìn.
Rise up to the day's breakfast. Yummy. With Mama Do's bread for bread. Yummy. We love its rich and buttery taste. Yummy. We love to have it with our bread. Yummy. Nutritious. Mama's bread for bread. We like it. Mama's bread for bread. Delicious. Mama's bread for bread. We love it. Mama's bread for bread.
New Mama Do's bread for bread. It gives you the right nutrients and energy to be your best each new day. New Mama Do's bread for bread. Deliciously nourishing for a bright start.
Bros, somebody shook me for Neko. I suppose expand this Okada business, but money no day. Me don't apply for Super Oga Hero Hunter. If I win, then go give me 3 brand new bikes. Super Oga Hero Hunter Road Quest. Now the first of in kind bike riders mileage competition for Naija. Road Quest like no other. Abeg, yummy now. We've called for 100 Okada riders, 20 per state, to compete in a rugged tour with the Hero Hunter motorbike. Selected riders will race for 25,000 kilometers mileage within 60 days of the tour, and winners of each state goes on with 3 Hero Hunter motorbikes. Our online audience can follow their favorite riders on social media and participate too by cheering the riders on. The road quest runs from the 11th of December 2021 till February 2022 across Ibadan, Akure, Ilorin, Ado-Ekiti, and Gombe. We ride.
Our friend Oliver is what you call a man with a huge appetite. Gigantic, actually. And if there's one phrase we have come to know Oliver for, it is this.
More data, please.
No matter what we offer him.
More data, please.
So guess what we did? We heard Glow created new data plans for people like Oliver, and we got him exactly that. And guess what Oliver said?
Excuse me, please, is this all for me? Only me?
Now, Oliver certainly has more than enough data. All thanks to the Glow Mega Data Plans.
With the longer validity you get on Glow Mega Data Plans, you can work from home with ease, run your business better, download non-stop, stream music and movies endlessly, learn online, and share data with anyone. No worries. Get 225 gigabytes at 30,000 Naira for 30 days, 425 gigabytes at 50,000 Naira for 90 days, and 1 terabyte at 100,000 Naira for a year. Dial *777# now to start enjoying these mega plans.
Glow Unlimited.
Concept tó ń talẹ̀ ìrọ̀rùn tó fi ní lọ́kànbalẹ̀ tó kojú owó. Àǹfààsìkò yìí dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín àṣẹ o. gbàgbà wa tọwọ́ tẹsẹ̀ ń bàdà jọ ṣé wa ò ní bàjẹ́ láíláí. èyí tẹ́ ẹ ti jàǹfààní ẹ̀dínwó. pilọ́n ṣe é sílẹ̀ wa tó wà mọ́níyà. àtìlágùn. bẹ́ẹ̀ mẹ́lẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ kéékèèké tó wà lájì. a kì í kú oríire. bàbá wa rẹ̀ ni tí o ti gbàwé gbàrí sí tilẹ̀ rẹ̀. abẹ́ ò ti ra yè wa mọ́ bí tilẹ̀ yín wa. ẹ kàn sí ọ́fíìsì wa báyọ̀ fẹ́ ni. tí pọ́ǹpì wà nọ́mbà 12 ọ̀làdòkú street by A+ guest house àrí avenue ní bódìjà ìbàdàn. ẹ tún lè gbé 09152222205. késekése lẹ́rí tẹ́ ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wa kàṣàkàṣà nfààní ń bọ̀ bàbá késekése lórí àwọn ilẹ̀ tẹ́ bára lọ́dọ̀ wa. ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
tí pọ́ǹpì tẹ́ ń retí ti dé. a nílùú ìbàdàn. tí pọ́ǹpì concepts developer that cares.
The Vice Chancellor of the First Technical University, Ibadan, Professor Ayobami Salami, announces its first convocation holding on March 5, 2022. Venue, Tech Use Main Campus, Kilometer 11, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Time, 10 a.m. prompt, with the visitor to the university and Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, gracing the occasion. The convocation lecture would be delivered by iconic scholar and administrator, Emeritus Professor Julius Okoje. Honorary doctoral degrees will be conferred on the following 5 distinguished Nigerians: Chief Tunde J. Afolabi, Chief Adebayo Akande, Chief Amapepo, Professor Toyin Falola, and Mr. Shebu Agbaje. First Technical University, Ibadan, developing brains, training hands.
Thank you. I'm living the life because I get to
Nigeria's most affordable internet service provider, Tizeti Network Limited, is now live in Ibadan. Oh yes, Ibadan residents can now enjoy our truly unlimited internet service too. Tizeti prides itself on providing the lowest cost of unlimited internet access to residential and small business customers. You can now browse, stream, and game 24/7 at an amazing speed. And with an uncapped data plan, connect to Tizeti's fast unlimited internet service for just 12,500 naira only per month. Simply pay 59,500 for installation and enjoy a 1-month subscription for the residential plan. What more? Visit wifi.com.ng/OYO to sign up or call 090-8749-3040, 090-8749-3040, or send email to internet@wifi.com.ng to get started now. Unlimited internet on Yolowa.
Don't dare touch that dial. It's Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
Why are you staying back at home when you can learn French in the French way at Alliance Française, Ibadan? Alliance Française, Ibadan announces the registration for the French classes as the new session starts on Monday, 7th of March. Learn French in the French way. You can also enroll your children for the Saturday French classes, which is on. Also, registration for Canada Immigration Examination, TEF, is on. Register now at Alliance Française, Ibadan, beside the Magistrate Court at Iyaganku. Learn French in the French way. Number to call or WhatsApp 0703 204 3178 or 0806 974 0010. Announcer, Management.
Splash FM 105.5.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Laura and Andrew with the BBC Minute.
There's more information from Ukraine about the temporary ceasefire and evacuation of civilians from the southeastern city of Mariupol, which has been besieged by Russian forces for several days.
Russian forces will not fire for 6 hours until 4 p.m. local time. The evacuation of civilians is starting now.
The city is also bringing in supplies such as food, water and medicines that couldn't get through because of Russia's blockade.
One resident told the BBC the situation inside Mariupol was like hell, with schools and hospitals among the facilities cities hit by Russian bombs.
There is also a ceasefire in the town of Volnovakha.
Meanwhile, at the Beijing Winter Olympics, Ukraine's Taras Rad won silver in the men's sprint sitting biathlon. China won gold and bronze.
There was another silver for Ukraine, won by Lyudmila Lyashenko. This in the women's sprint standing biathlon. China again won gold.
And Snapchat says it's turning off its heat map feature for Ukraine. The app will no longer show how many snaps are being taken in particular locations.
8:59 June.
BBC Minutes.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Splash FM 105.5.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on state affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Tamaso sanalom Muasa benge kaputo
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
Yes, you listened to BBC Minute, and the story is Russia-Ukraine. Let me give you this outlook. From the events highlighted, the war between Russia and Ukraine is a new war, a war to launch a new era in world politics. But take note, it is a war against the policies of the United States and its allies. And the allies are members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. It is a reenactment of the politics of World War II and the Cold War. So I will be coming up with presentations on Twitter and Facebook Spaces to show the historical underpinnings of the war. It's a war that has launched a new era in world politics. The reason every watcher of domestic and international politics must pay attention. It will have ripple effects on the countries of Africa, especially in the West African sub-region. In fact, before the invasion of Ukraine, world power politics was already at play in the West African sub-region. I'm talking of the countries of Mali, Chad, Burkina Faso. The recent military coups in those countries are linked to the changing tides of world politics. Now, if you check page 2 of the Tribune newspaper, my friend and I wrote a tribute about Angela Nwaka Folari. Yes, I knew her very well. Like I told you the last time, she was the only wife of an Oyo State politician I knew. So this is what we wrote about her. It's Angela, an experience in beauty, and a life sharing the gift of kindness and happiness. As she appears as the queen of the rocky road, she sets the rocks rolling. Our eyes on her as she clears the road. Inspiring, confidently brilliant, unrelenting in seeing the mission through. And her husband, Folarin, listens as she reads the meanings of the time. Full of energy and warmth, Angela burns. But her heat is conducive, strategic, spontaneous, and evolving. What a life. Angela leaves. Is she not the one fetching from the stream with her diamond pot? She ties a flowery scarf. She has precious beads. See her reading the minds of travelers on the runway. And she boards the flight, flying away. See her in the sky, sprinkling us with showers of strength and duty. Oh, Angie, can you look down? See her eyes. She leaves. It's a tribute written by her friends, Chima Amadi and Edmund Obilo. If you want to read it, turn to page 2 of the Tribune today. You'll find it there. During the 2015 election, I heard her speaking on Space FM, Ibadan. But so let me feel her voice before I let her go.
I'm hoping that if I become First Lady, we could use that partnership with probably people like IITA, Association of Farmers, to be able to provide subsidized food and all that for them. Also, I'm passionate about small and medium enterprises for widows and single parents, disabled people. I'm very passionate about disabled people. If you can see, my Christmas party this year was for the disabled. I'm hoping to carry out job training to improve socioeconomic indicators, because the economy of every state is driven by these people: the bread seller, the akara seller, the dundu seller, the boli seller, the amala seller. So it's what I really want to do. I want to emancipate the Oyo woman. The Oyo woman is a virtuous woman. We balance things right. We help our husbands, we help our children, we help our parents. And I want to be able to empower these people. I can assure you of accountability. That's the most important thing. If a government is accountable to its people, then they can steer that government in the right direction. If you have a listening governor, then you can, if you have a consulting governor, then you should be able to put in your input and try and get the right output out of government.
Reading the minds of travelers on the runway, and she boards the flight, flying away. See her in the sky, sprinkling us with showers of strength and duty. Oh, Angie, can you look down? She ties a flowery scarf. She has precious beads. What a life she lives.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
BC Laka is on State Affairs. Chief Laka, good to see you again.
It's always a pleasure to be here in Splash FM.
What has happened to you over time?
Living life and addressing all his vicissitudes and challenges, but on course.
On course? What did she do to you?
What? I don't really understand the question.
You were she's chief of staff.
Well, the office of a chief of staff is not a position, it's not a life appointment. It's not as if I was the Alafin of Oyo or the Olubado of Ibadan. It was a tenured appointment, which it's at the pleasure of the governor. So I was an appointee. So at some point, as much as I had my entrance, I would have had my exit.
Your tenancy ended?
Yeah, I had my exit for reasons which are privy to myself and the governor.
She is the landlord, you are the tenant.
It's his gig.
Oh. Did you quarrel with she?
No, not at all.
Are you in good terms with she?
I presume so.
You are presuming, Chief Ilaka?
Yes.
You're not sure?
No, I know. I'm sure we have no reason to have any quarrel. There aren't any issues. If there are issues, we would engage with one another on the particular issue and arrive at an understanding.
I can see your guys. They are wearing Ilaka for Senate.
That's correct.
Ilaka is going to the Senate.
That's very true.
You know, I'm worried about you going to the Senate.
Why is that?
You have perpetually contested for that seat.
Yes.
Are you not tired?
Definitely not.
Is she supporting you this time?
I would say he is.
You're not sure?
I'm pretty certain, but, you know, I'm pretty certain we've had conversations and he assures me of his support.
When was the last time you saw the governor?
Well, earlier this year.
Earlier this year? You should be seeing him all the time.
I don't work with him. This year has been a very busy year. We've had a lot of bereavements. We've had the silly season in politics has started, so he's here, there, and everywhere. And so I don't intrude when I don't have anything to discuss. But when I do, we find the time to discuss with one another.
Is she doing well?
Without a shadow of doubt.
You remember before the election?
Yes.
When I had that video interview with you.
Yes, I do remember.
You said the coming of she is the coming of good things.
Yes, and I think I have been vindicated.
So, there are good things.
Very much so.
But the people are still poor?
Well, this administration has only been in place for, I think, shy of 3 years. And in that time, I think, without a shadow of doubt, just like the general trademark of what would be a PDP administration, things have been thought out. There are things on the ground which are tangible, sustainable, visible. We've made impact in all the areas which are the thrust of of the government. In the areas of education, we've done marvelously well. In the area of healthcare, we've had great results, and a lot of it's still work in progress. And by the end of the year, the citizens of Oyo State will see a lot more. In the area of infrastructure, we've done a lot. And with regards to that most challenging of areas, which is expanding the economy of Oyo through the instrumentality, particularly of agriculture and agribusiness, I think we've raised the bar.
You've raised the bar?
Yes.
But the bar is still low.
We probably didn't have a bar in the first place.
Uh-huh. There was no bar.
In the first place.
She built the bar.
He set standards.
Standards. So you have done marvelously well in education.
Yes.
If I go to your senatorial district, I will show you some primary and secondary schools.
But I'm sure...
They are imposted.
No, I'm sure if you have a flashback, to start off with, primary and secondary schools, that's probably the remit of Subeb in the main. And you would know, previous administrations were known not to pay their counterpart funding with regards to Subeb. This administration, year after year, has paid its counterpart funding, and I'm sure you'd have seen all across the state primary, secondary schools being refurbished in terms of their buildings, infrastructure, furniture, equipment. And if you still want to talk about the story about the education, previously, I'm sure you remember as well, because this is a fact that has been bandied about too many times that it's probably really engraved in your head, that with regards to school search results, this state always used to come about 26, 27. Now, the last time, we're 11. And what has been the change? The change is that we've put the resources there. We've changed the narrative. We've said this is a place that used to be a first in terms of education. And even that 26 was really a false kind of position, because I personally believe outside Lagos State, this is where you have the preponderance of private schools, and they tell us they do very well. So if you really strip the results out of it, or your state in the southwest and in Nigeria was probably flatlining right at the bottom of the table. But we've changed the narrative. Last time we were 11th, and I'm sure next time around we'll be in single digits, and things can only get better.
What did being chief of staff do to you?
First and foremost, I'd never worked in a state with a state government. And my role really was I played midfield for the governor. So
midfield?
I played midfield for the governor. So things that came, I dispatched all the departments for them to finish. I tried to prevent unnecessary attacks on the administration. So I just kept things ticking over. So I had a pretty decent overview of what governance is. I dealt with his aides because I was their reporting channel. And I think it was kind of quite instructive, because it's a role I've never... There was a lot of lessons learned. And it gave me a decent view of how governance in the state works. And I think, I enjoyed every single moment of it. It was a learning experience, which was most rewarding and nourishing for my person.
And there were mistakes made too.
Yes, again, a life without making mistakes is not a life worth living, but it's learning from those mistakes. Yes, one always will make mistakes. It's for one to note and observe and learn from those particular mistakes. So one will stumble from time to time, but it's getting up and understanding why you stumble.
Was it that you made too much mistake that the governor could not help you anymore?
No, I don't think so, because mine was an open office, so if there were any issues, it would have been out there. So I think I came out of the place with my head held high. I discharged my responsibilities to the best of my ability. Without fear or favor, I did what I thought the role was, and I redefined the role of a chief of staff. Look, you'd have all different kinds of chief of staff, and the personality and the character of the person filling that office is pretty paramount. And I think
you brought the Laka image to the office.
I think I think I must have left a mark of a sort.
So at the point I was feeling Ilaka chief of staff with the Ilaka image. How are we going to combine the Ilaka image with the image of a governor? Ilaka is big,
Yeah, but...
And suddenly they were going to clash, right?
No, there's always those kind of possibilities, but do you understand? The role of the chief of staff, by and large, is defined by how the governor wants it. And again, the governor at that point in time was just new and feeling his way. I was feeling my way. So there might be areas where there might be challenges, but at the end of the day, I think we understood how to steer each other's path, our own path.
Let's look at what the newspapers are saying. Buhari confirms choice of chairman, signs zoning formula document, that is APC. I'll rather remain a refugee than return to Nigeria. Nigerian trap in Ukraine, sirs. What do you think? He rather dies in Ukraine than come home.
That must be a very personal statement. There are people who've invested a large part of their life. Particularly, we know of medical students. We know a lot of people who've made Ukraine their home. But I know Nigeria, the best place for any Nigerian, wherever they might be, still remains Nigeria. And the best place for an Ukrainian is Ukraine. So I think maybe in the moment of feeling extremely sorry for themselves, maybe people might come up with these kind of remarks. But with the sober reflection, they'll realize that for every Nigeria is the best place for them.
No place like home.
Definitely no place like home.
You know, you sound like a British. And you came back because no place like home, right?
Yes, no place like home. Yeah, but when you say I don't know what a British sound like, but I speak with a particular kind of pronunciation.
Did you grow up in Britain?
I spent a sizable amount of my time there. And I spent a sizable amount of my time with Anglo-Saxons.
Do they understand you when you speak in Oyo?
I presume so, because if they don't, I'm sure. But I speak the native dialect. I speak Yoruba quite fluently as well. So there's no, depending on what audience I'm speaking to, I would use the language that is appropriate.
You are contesting for Oyo Central.
Yes.
And that is a seat Senator Folani occupies. A 3-time senator.
Yes.
You have contested for that office more than 4 times?
Thereabouts. It depends on how you're counting it. But having my name on the ballot 3 times.
3 times. Yeah. So you are a veteran contestant.
Very much so.
You must win this time.
I'm hoping to.
Don't hope.
I never play to lose. I play to win every single time.
You have lost 3 times. I'm no longer comfortable with you losing.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not comfortable with it as well.
Now you have a governor, a sitting governor.
That's correct.
A PDP governor.
That's correct.
And hopefully you get the ticket.
I know I'll get the ticket.
You know you'll get the ticket.
I'm quite sure of it.
So with a sitting governor, you should win.
Yeah, but that's very, very simplistic, yeah?
Okay.
Because I'd like to put it to you this way. I have the clearly stated objective of winning that election. And there must be like some kind of pathway or thinking. Why do I think I should win? I think one of the biggest tragedy we've had in this state is that this is a PDP state, and we've had a break in that administration. Lagos State is a very good example in that they've had this consistency of ACN, AD, APC successor states, and they've had continuity in terms of administration. In this state, when Senator Ladoja came in 2003, the challenges we had in the PDP meant that for a certain period, 8 years, we were out of office. So we haven't been able to build on the successes of Senator Ladoja. So again, we've now had a new governor who has put his own indelible print on governance in Oyo State. We've seen changes in area of infrastructure. By the end of this year, we'll have 351 primary healthcare centers, 1 in every single ward, which is transformational. In terms of secondary healthcare, we've seen ownership of Lautech. We've seen roads, new roads everywhere. We've seen light up. We're trying to develop the economy, agribusiness sector, all that's happening. But what is really missing and has missed time after time in this state is that there hasn't been the proper complement coming from Abuja, right? So we've had representation, but we haven't had the representation we deserve. We have the kind of issue whereby, like in Oyo, the Oyo-Eseni Road is a major, fundamental, really very transformative and fundamental to the economy of both Eseni and Oyo.
So he's working on it.
He's doing it with state funds. Right? That should not be the case. It should be somebody batting for us, playing for us in Abuja, making sure those kind of infrastructure things are done for the benefit of our people, complementing the work of whatever the governor is, of whatever party, but complementing. We haven't seen that much in those that we sent to Abuja. So that's why I put myself forward time after time, that we can actually get better representation to complement the sterling work that our governors try to do for us in this state.
BC Ilaka is on State Affairs. We will be back after this break, so don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste. So creamy, so good. Cowbell Evaporated milk. So creamy, so good.
Hello, Chooks. Because we got a new laptop, 2 boxes, rechargeable fan, 3.
Your call credit has been exhausted.
Yeah, Ebuka, because load 1,000 naira Airtel for this phone now. Ebuka, I send you 1,000 naira. You go load 8,000 naira. Be this boy in a power there.
Oga, no. As you make plenty call. Now why use Ovajara load the card?
Bam! Get 8 times your recharge plus double data on Ovajara. You also get 1,000 naira bonus on every new SIM activation. Dial *311# from an existing SIM to opt in.
Oh yeah, go buy food for Mama Cheap Place. Make she add Ovajara.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
For ShopRite, you fit find everything when you need plus more, even when Sakpa no gree leave you. You fit save reach 200 naira when you buy this their new combo now. 1 sweet white bread plus any 2 kind of Coca-Cola for 899 naira, 99 kobo. Can't even save more again when you buy Kellogg's 300 gram cornflakes for 999 naira, 99 kobo. All this price then go last till March 6, 2022. ShopRite, stationary price when you fit trust all the time.
Hero Hunter motorbike yóò mú ìrírí titun pátápátá bá àwọn ọlọ́kadà àti gbogbo ará ìlú tó ń gùn wọn lójoojúmọ́. Àwọn tó ṣe Hero Hunter motorbike ti ṣètò ìfigagbága ojú ọ̀nà láti dán Hero Hunter wò nígbà tí àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà yóò máa wòran rẹ̀ lórí ayélujára. Àwọn àṣàyàn ọlọ́kadà ní Ìbàdàn, Adó Èkìtì, Àkúrẹ́, Ìlọrin àti Gombe yóò gbìyànjú láti rin ìrìn tó tó 25,000 kìlómítà láàrin 60 ọjọ́ ìrìn àjò náà. Àwọn olùborí ní ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan yóò sì lọ sílé pẹ̀lú ọ̀ṣàrà Hero Hunter motorbike mẹ́ta gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìfagbára fún láti ilé iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe wọ́n jáde. Wàyí o, ìfigagbága ojú ọ̀nà yìí yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ 11 oṣù December títí di oṣù February ọdún 2022. Èròǹgbà Hero Motor Corp àti àwọn alájọṣòwòpọ̀ wọn Nigeria Kewaram and Chanride Group ní eléyìí láti fagbára fún ọ kó o lè ní ọ̀kadà púpọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ.
My whole family is proud of the engineer I have become. I owe this success to my mother and a lot of other people, but also to football and the great build as I learned the sport. The rejections taught me to keep fighting. The long hours taught me discipline. Knockdowns taught me to bounce back. And those unexpected victories that taught me to never give up.
Nourish and energize your kids with Milo Active Go to help them succeed in sports, because the greats they learn in sports, they keep for life. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! Get ready, Ibadan. The next level prayers with Pastor Bolaji Idowu is coming to us live and direct. It is time for us to pray down our healings, miracles, and breakthroughs, because the God that answers prayers is standing by with blessings upon blessings. Next level prayers with Pastor Bolaji Idowu live in Ibadan on the 6th of March at Jogo Event Center by 4 p.m. If you think your problems are too big, we'll show you that God is 10 times bigger. Save the date and I'll see you there.
In the name of Jesus, receive your full testimony. Receive your full testimony.
The number you've called is not available at the moment. Oh my God. This trader where I pay for maize since last 2 weeks. Till now, maize I never see. Even the truck driver, I never see. And both their number no dey available. Which kind of thing be this now?
Oga Benji, should I tell you make you buy from FX, you no gree. You say you trust your trader. See now, me, the maize and soybeans where I buy for my poultry feed. Now waiting my birds they chop since. See as them they fresh, they fat.
Chai, yeah, checking out. If say I know, I will follow you that day. Oh.
You never late oh. Just sharp download the Comex app.
Comex waiting.
Comex app, COM with capital letter X from your app store. Make you start to buy correct maize and soybeans for your poultry feed. The best part be say, even if you no get money, FX go give you loan to do your poultry business. Easy. Yes, so just download the Comex app now. Or call 090 3000 1333 to get more kulele information.
Now, I go download them. Comex. I don't sabi wait.
My whole family is proud of the engineer I have become. I owe this success to my mother and a lot of other people, but also to football and the great build as I learned the sport. The rejections taught me to keep fighting. The long hours taught me discipline. Knockdowns taught me to bounce back. And those unexpected victories that taught me to never give up.
Nourish and energize your kids with Milo Active Go to help them succeed in sports, because the greats they learn in sports, they keep for life. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hyper bleach for me.
Why
two? Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them, but they are there. And that is why I trust only Hypobleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypobleach.
Get ready, Ibadan. The next level prayers with Pastor Bolaji Idowu is coming to us live and direct. It is time for us to pray down our healings, miracles, and breakthroughs. Because the God that answers prayers is standing by with blessings upon blessings. Next level prayers with Pastor Bolaji Idowu live in Ibadan on the 6th of March at Jogo Event Center by 4 p.m. If you think your problems are too big, we'll show you that God is 10 times bigger. Save the date and I'll see you there.
In the name of Jesus, receive your full testimony. Receive your full testimony.
Evaporated milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
So creamy, so good.
Cowbell evaporated milk. So creamy, so good.
Cowbell, I want milk.
It's another call to spend quality worship time in God's presence this Sunday at the First God Gospel Church, Shalom District, Ibadan. Let's come together to lift the name of God high as He fills our lives with blessings and set us free from every form of oppression, sickness, challenge, and lack. We will be glad to have you join our churches across the district for this Sunday service. The zonal headquarters under the district are Shalom Zone, All Motors Compound, Old Ife Road, Bethel Zone, Akingbade Street, Mato, Iwo Road Zone at number 2, Iderade Street, Odo Ibule Close, Bodekumakpai Drive, Iwo Road, and Bashorun Zone at Plot 4, Akeke Layout, Ojele Street, off Bodewasimi, Bashorun. From Zona Headquarters churches, you can link other churches across the zone. For more inquiries, please contact the District Overseer on 0803 506 1261. Make it a date with our Lord Jesus Christ this Sunday. God bless you as you come.
My people, better don land. Make una come see ogbonge cable wey dem manufacture for Obodo, Nigeria. Na Pure-Chem cables. Pure-Chem cables na correct electrical cable wey dey reliable, dependable, and the people wey dem make am call dey safety conscious. Pure-Chem cables get original copper and aluminium cable for different sizes dem wey you fit use for electrical wiring level for anywhere. Whether na your house, abi na your office, the price nko e no dey tear pocket at all. Nationwide distribution don start. For more information, call 0808 030 3257. 0808 030 3257. Pure-Chem Cable and Wire Limited. They have print compound, 4 ticket, 122/132. Oshodi Apapa Expressway, Iyano Solo Bus Stop, Lagos. Pure-Chem Cables, Nigerian electrical contractors endorse am. SON approval. Pure-Chem Cables. Na Yubico.
For ShopRite, you fit find everything when you need plus more, even when Sakpa no gree leave you. You fit save reach 200 naira when you buy this their new combo now. One sweet white bread plus any 2 kind of Coca-Cola for 899 naira 99 kobo. Can't even save more again when you buy Kellogg's 300 gram cornflakes for 999 naira 99 kobo. All this price then go last in March 6, 2022. ShopRite, stationary price when you fit trust all the time.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Yes, welcome back. I'm discussing with the former Chief of Staff to the Governor of Oyo State, Chief BC Ilaka. Let's go on my Oyo app. What are you saying? I can see a story here, and this story says wire and cable, Alada Road, Badmos Raman from Ibadan, Ido Not local government area. He says, good day, Mr. Governor. Thank you for the good work you've been doing in our state. I want to call your attention to the campaign promise you made to the residents of Wire and Cable, that their road will be constructed immediately you were voted into office. I want to use my Oyo app medium to remind you and appeal to you to please help your citizens out, as this road is getting worse day by day. That is Badmos Raman on my Oyo app. Remember, my Oyo app is not a government app. It is your app, my app. Go there, speak to the government. Government will listen to you and keep on mounting the pressure on the app. So download the app. Go on Google Play Store, search for my Oyo app or your citizen app. And you can also browse. So you can use your browser to complain. So just go on myoyoapp.com.ng. myoyo.com.ng. So you can complain on your browser in case you don't have enough space on your phone to download a new app. So you go on the browser, myoyo.com.ng. And if you are a user of the app, you discover that we have improved the app and more improvement is coming. We are working on it. It's a data app. You can do your research on this app on MyOyo. And before the election, I'm going to plot some graphs from the complaints you have done over time. You can reach the Oyo State House of Assembly on this app. It is about Oyo State. Soon we are going to open the history page on the app. If you want to know about Oyo State, how Oyo State started, the governance over time, the history app will come. So it's a school. No transformer. No transformer. This is Ajayi Biodun. Please, we don't have transformers in Podo New Garage. IBEDC, they want transformer. She cannot give you transformer, but no, she can give now. I hear that senators give transformers, House of Rep members give transformers. So you can also call on them, let them help. So go on my Oyo app. Who is here again? My house was boggled twice in less than 1 month. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, that's a whistleblower here. He says, I went to pick my sick boy from a hospital at Uluyole after a month of packing into the house. On getting home around 8 p.m. on the 29th of December 2021, my house had been boggled, scattered, and valuable items were carted away by the thieves. And this includes 2 laptops, 6 phones, Glow Wi-Fi, 12.5 and 6 kilogram gas cylinders. They swept the house. What happened? So you are calling on the police and the DSS to set in motion an investigation. I hope you reported. He says this incident was reported at the nearest police station, and a petition was written and submitted at the office of Oyo State DSS. After the incident, it was gathered that this barbaric and ugly action is a norm in that vicinity. They used to welcome the new landlords into the area by stealing their properties. Up to now, no good news has come forth on the incident. What area is this? You didn't mention the area. And you didn't put your name in this. Why are you whistleblowing? You know, as you download, you register. Don't use the whistleblower name here. Put your full name. Because you are using the whistleblower title, I cannot get your local government. Anyway, I will get it later. Because you know, if you are outside of your state, you might not be able to complain. It's for those in your state. But if you are outside of your state, you can download. But you will not be able to register a complaint because we want it to be restricted to those who operate here. That's how we designed the app. My experience with Otma. If you go on the government side of the app, there are different stories. Arrest, questioning, and detention of Oyo State Accountant General. You want to read that story? Go on the app. Makinde appoints sole administrator for 3SC. I hope you know that the Nigeria League Management Authority is saying, no, Makinde, you can't do that. There's a democratic system. Why do you appoint a sole administrator when you can appoint a board? So I hope Makinde will have a rethink on that subject. Now, have you left a message on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook? I asked a question. If you were God, what would you do with Nigeria? How would you handle her leaders? Let's see what you're saying here. Clement is saying, if I were God, I will let Nigerians suffer more in the hands of Satan for worshiping me with their lips while their heart is with mammon. Thank God you are not God. Because we'll be suffering more. Nwalaka Ago says, God doesn't even know Nigeria. Who told you that? Are you God? Praise Nwa Mama says, if I were God, oh, no, you wouldn't do that. You see, I knew why I asked this question. Remember, I started the show this morning by talking about your heart. That what you think is the character of the Nigerian state. So be careful about what you harbor in your heart. This one is coming from Olaleye Martins. It says, if I were God, I would laugh to scorn because Nigerian masses are mugu for life. Mugu. Is it true that politicians think Nigerians are mugu? Because they come, they play the people, go, join the election, they come back. And so Nigerians are beginning to feel that, hey, we are no longer mugus.
No, but I think this current, should I say, political experiment, which started in 1999, a lot of people were quite cynical in that they didn't fully participate and they didn't really understand. But we've had a number of circles now, so the people should be fully aware. And it's their responsibility, their civic duty as well, to hold politicians to account. Because, you know, the system we run is based on the principle that, like, we can't all go to representing ourselves in the National Assembly. So we've got to choose one person in representative capacity to the National Assembly, to the State Assembly, and even as governors and president. And so, therefore, the other part of that bargain is that you should hold them to account. If people come with all kinds of manifestos, which turns out to be a tissue of lies, we have records. So the records should be kept and said, okay, because you can't really have politics without accountability. There ought to be some kind of accountability. And the people should hold those who they vote for accountable.
Tinubu came to Ibadan and said, I have read somewhere in a Greek philosopher's book who says, if you want to wrestle with a pig, be ready to get dirty. I am ready to get dirty. I'm asking, why would Tinubu make that kind of statement?
It's one of two things, right? Either he feels kindred spirits with the pigs that he wants to wrestle with, or he thinks that there is the dirty tricks department at play in Nigerian politics that are trying to, like, fault or thwart his ambition, and so therefore he's saying, he'll fight for what he thinks he is. But they might just be kindred souls, really. So, and I wouldn't want to intrude in this little, should I call it, love fest of Tinubu and the pig.
Tinubu and the pig. So it's not Tinubu and the pig.
Beeves, you recited his narrative that he says, a Greek philosopher says that if you want to wrestle with a pig, so he's identified a pig, and he's the one that's doing the wrestling. So who am I to intrude again in this love fest?
You have to help me unravel this statement.
Yeah.
Because his guys are saying that we are misinterpreting the statement. So I ask, who is a pig? Who wrestles a pig? Tinubu says he's ready to fight to get dirty. Can it be said that to fight to get dirty is to fight dirty?
No, basically what he's saying, my interpretation is this, because politics usually is stage by stage, right? Regardless of the fact that he's touring the country, he's not campaigning. He's consulting with those who might be influential in him getting the ticket in his party. So the only pigs that are available for him to wrestle with, as at this moment in time, are those who share a space with him, right?
They are in APC.
They must be, because that's the only space in which he can operate politically as at now. When he gets the ticket of the party, then he can come and deal with the Nigerians at large. So he's talking to his fellow travelers to say that, like, some people will play dirty with him, and he's up to the task because they are of the same stock.
Are there pigs in the PDP?
There are pigs everywhere.
Does Sheyi Makinde wrestle with pigs too?
He tries not to. He's in this part of the franchise of PDP. He's the leader, and he's supposed to. His is to provide the vision, the direction. He has a team of very talented people. He has a team of warriors who would do. And he has other sub leadership roles for others as well to play. So he's got a team, and he provides the leadership.
You know, if Tinubu gets the ticket of APC, he will do everything possible to get Oyo.
Yeah.
Because Oyo is the epicenter of Yoruba politics.
Yes.
So for Tinubu to win,
yes,
he will want to take Oyo.
Yes.
Is PDP ready for that fight?
No, you know, this time around, PDP has been living and is living a charmed existence. You might call it serendipity, because at this particular point in time, members of the APC actually hate themselves in this state more than they hate us. So, by and large, I think that cancels out that side of the equation.
PDP don't hate themselves?
We don't hate ourselves more than we hate the opposition.
Let's listen to Femi Babalola and see if Femi Babalola is not PDP. Is Shema doing well?
The party is doing well.
What about the governor?
As an individual, I don't know, but it's a PDP government.
You see, you don't know.
It's a PDP government.
Femi Jogo doesn't know if she is doing well. How come you're not interested? Because if you don't know, it simply means you're not interested.
I am interested in what goes on around me. I live in this state. I work in this state. So I should be interested in what goes on around me.
A government you helped install.
I should be interested in the extent at which it is open and available to me.
Did Sheyi Makinde kick you out? Did he take you to the periphery in the scheme of things?
I doubt if he has that power. He didn't. He didn't.
But you're not inside.
Yes, I'm not within the government. I couldn't have taken appointments. And if I was not invited, I wouldn't be there. If I was invited for technical advice or rules, I would go. But if I was not invited, there was no point going in there.
This is a government you have installed.
Absolutely.
And you said Sheyi Makinde did not keep to the terms.
Absolutely.
What are the terms?
The terms with the party members.
What are those terms?
Not as individuals.
Yes, you as an individual too.
Personal recognition of party members.
What do you mean by recognition?
Roles for party members.
Commissioner?
Roles.
Contracts?
Roles. Joint decisions. Joint decisions taken is the overall role I'm referring to.
Yeah, that's a member of the PDP.
Yeah.
He's angry with she.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
That she did not keep to the terms of the agreement.
But I saw you ask and interrogated at what were the terms and you didn't get an answer.
You know about it.
No, you see, what I would like a lot of people to appreciate is that we for the narrative to really be complete, in 2015, PDP was in the state, but it was defunct. It was literally out of business, because the only way you can identify a party is to look at the state assembly. They didn't have one member, not one. So what then happened between 15 and 19 is pretty transformative. The game changed. How did that game change, right? And again, even if you look at the election in 2019, the first election, I was on the ballot. We only won the senatorial seats in Oyo South and the reps therein. I think we produced about 4 or 5 in the South. The party, which was running the affairs of the state, by the next election, we'd taken them out. And how did we take them out? There was a coming together of a lot of people. The party became reinvigorated. So we were now running even a broader church. So this narrow narrative that there's I, right? There's a larger collective. And so therefore, the governor has to attend to diverse and divergent interests. So if we think more in the interest of the we, are we fine, as opposed to am I fine, I'll see that we would not have a problem. So most of these challenges are individual upset.
No, he was saying we, the party men.
I'm a party man.
Outsiders came.
But outsiders, these so-called outsiders, they were part of a coalition that gave birth to this administration.
So when you bring in coalition, you throw out your core guys?
No, but when you say core guys, you see, these are PDP, right? If we're really being really honest, since the administration of Senator Rashid Ladoja, we've had a challenge, right? The PDP have been in flux, so there's a lot of towing and going, right? But 19 was probably the time when members who'd left the fold came back by and large. So if somebody says, I've always been, but there was a reason, there was a challenge, right? There was a battle for the soul of that side of the divide, right? And resolution came by that coalition. That coalition was the resolution of most of our strife. But politics is always about strife. We'll always have challenges. And that's why politicians should be very good at conflict resolution, crisis management, because we'll always have issues and challenges.
So is she managing the crisis well?
Because
they are still complaining.
They will always complain. He's addressing issues as they arise. He can't address all of them because that is the nature of politics.
So Femi Walola should calm down?
Politics is always in flux. Yeah, it's important that he expresses and articulates what he feels, because if he doesn't express it, nobody would know, right? So we have to, you can't, should I say, stifle people's opinions, but it has to be set against the backdrop of a bigger narrative.
Before you go, there is one man called Auxiliary.
Yes.
And people are complaining.
Yes.
About his behavior in town.
Yes.
Have you heard about that? And he's a member of the PDP.
I wouldn't know about that. He probably is, yeah.
You've not heard about any complaint of Auxiliary and his boys?
Like with most complaints, yeah, there would be a complainant, and I'm sure the appropriate authorities would investigate and try to get to the bottom of our issue. Oyo State is kind of quite different and unique, because before the advent of this PMS, we had the NURT and we had challenges with them time after time. So that sector is being reformed, and that reform is continuous. But the opinions of our people is important, and I'm sure the government and the appropriate authorities would address them as they come in.
Chief BC Laka, thank you for featuring on State Affairs. We just have to go now. Bosun Alayode, thank you. Ayo Ashimolo, thank you for streaming to the word. Shimu Balano is also streaming from the newsroom. Tosin Ayeni, Oladele, thank you. He's a documentary photographer. Next week is another time. I am Edmund Obilo. The next program, Ijoba Ibile, with Abiodun Adewale. Don't go away.
Daganan kilo, petening kom, no moham.